What happens when the modern female world finds out that just because a man might be rich and straight-laced doesn't mean that he's stupid and gullible? Well, they found it out to brutal reality here when Megan The Stallion went out of nowhere in a completely classless gutter move and decides to announce to the world without any substantiation whatsoever that the guy she was dating, Klay Thompson, was allegedly cheating on her. And as you can see on the screen here, is the original Instagram story that she posted. Cheating had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, holding you down through all of your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. No proof of any of this whatsoever. But of course, remember, in the world of reputation assassination, strike first and make sure the other person doesn't have a chance to respond. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. So, needless to say, after a bunch of people thought that they were going to redeem Meg The Stallion's history of nothing but hoeing, it went down in flames. Now, we have a lot to play here tonight, and I'm just going to jump right into it with no further ado about it. What I want to go into here first is what was happening at the beginning, because you want to hear about folks losing their marbles. Why don't we go ahead and start with Sherry Shepherd here.
Because if a man can cheat on Megan The Stallion, Megan The Stallion's break up with her boyfriend. Yep. Megan broke up with NBA star Klay Thompson. And like all young people, she posted about it on Instagram. And according to Megan, Klay cheated on her. And Megan says trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship. Good for you, girl.
Isn't she the chick who cheated on her boyfriend? Never mind. Megan, didn't Megan cheat on? Oh, okay. Or is that just non-negotiable for her, but it should be negotiable for everybody? Never mind.
Good for you, Megan. I gotta tell you, I applaud Megan for standing on business. But here's the part that has me and all my girlfriends just shook. Because if a man can cheat on Megan The Stallion, what hope do the rest of us have?
But here's the issue. You say if a man can cheat on Megan The Stallion as if Megan The Stallion is some high-class female or something.
Nigga, what?
I mean, they're talking, you know this, all of a sudden, they have memory hold that Meg The Stallion is the biggest video whore and off video in the universe. Not a single one of them is mentioning anything about her whatsoever. So if you get the impression that Jay-Z and Rock Nation have sent the memo to everybody, do not discuss what she actually does for a living, just discuss her, and completely omit what she does for a living, you could be forgiven for assuming that's the case, because literally, no matter where you're going to, they're talking about her with no context of what she does for a living or her sensibilities and sexual promiscuity whatsoever. All of that completely erased. They just say her name, and they have no other characteristic other than her name. You would swear they were talking about Claire Huxtable. And that's exactly the point. So when she say if it can happen to Meg The Stallion, that means it can happen to your local stripper down in Magic City. With no context whatsoever, this is how you get sick and remain sick.
What hope do the rest of us have? Megan is gorgeous. She's funny. She's successful. She can cook. And as the kids say, her body is tea.
What is the benefit of a female bragging about another female's physique or figure? That's the first thing. That's real cringe to even do that, first of all. As if that should mean something to men because you're the one saying it. So that's the first thing. It's very cringe. But the other thing is talking about she's successful. Successful compared to what? How does her success benefit any man? She doesn't get with men talking about, okay, here's my success and what it'll do for you, because it doesn't do anything for them. So what you have is the same old pathetic tired, debunked, landfill excuses for what are supposed to give you value. Things that give value to a man for a woman, and they're attempting to switch it around and transpose it to give value from a woman to a man. And it doesn't matter how nice a woman's body is, and this is all very subjective if you think Meg's got a body like that, but let's just say that she did. Okay, the problem is her body has been a public utility.
And deal with it, nigga.
That's the problem. So strippers have nice bodies. Porn chicks have nice bodies. That body is devalued and worthless because it belongs to everybody. So there's no value in it. Once again, Sherri Shepherd, who has had how many abortions now?
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
That's not hitting below the belt, Sherri. By the way, she's had how many abortions now? Okay. So I guess Sherri just completely dismisses the value of a woman's body getting run through and all kinds of terrible things happening to it as a result of her sexual past, and then bringing it to a man after all this damn body damage. Yeah, Sherri, you just don't get it.
Yes, and not the regular tea, but the expensive tea. The tea you gotta steep for 20 minutes.
Okay, Tory Lanez didn't have to do it for 20 minutes. French Montana, can I go? Folks, let me go ahead and show you on your screen right here. This is just an annotated history of Meg The Stallion's sexual dalliances.
Damn!
I mean, everybody's been trying to get together a comprehensive list, and we all just agree on one thing. None of us have a comprehensive list just yet. We all been trying to put things together, and nobody's got a comprehensive list just yet. But consider this to be a sampling of the list here, and yeah, a whole bunch of dudes and a couple of chicks.
What?
On top of everything else, a whole bunch of dudes and a couple of chicks, because of course, Meg The Stallion has admitted that she's bisexual.
Damn!
So yeah, Sherri Shepherd's not mentioning any of this, so she just gave everybody the rundown and doesn't say a word about this part. Isn't this interesting, folks? Now, if I could get all this together, how in the hell is it these people with their big expensive productions, why didn't they go ahead and mention this part and then tell us that that's what's mixed in with the tea? That when you get a piece of Megan's body, you better leave some because it's been carved off a lot. Why don't we talk about where that body has been and what that body has been doing, Sherri, and all the other internet psychos who tried to defend this? Why don't they all talk about this part that I'm saying right here? This is public information for anyone who's been paying attention. Public information. I won't even play her and Cardi B dancing to WAP. I won't even play that. But you ask yourselves why it is that Sherri, when she wanted to go on this ignorant, infantile rant, didn't include any of this prescient information that is very publicly available. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, no. Rihanna, you cannot get on in this business if you're not ready to sleep with everybody and anybody under any circumstances. No, you can't get on without it.
And Megan is limber. She can drop down into a squat, come back up, drop again, no warm up. Oh, and let's not forget, and her booty. It moves like water. If you listen to Megan's booty closely enough, you can hear the ocean.
And then you asked about how this could have happened. Why would Klay Thompson want to drop her? Why would Klay Thompson say, yeah, I can't be monogamous to you? So you come out attacking Klay Thompson, and then your attempts to defend her are a gag reel of all the reasons that no person would ever want to have her. This is what the modern feminist psychoses is today.
I'm sad for for them because I really liked them as a couple. She seemed really close with his parents. She even made Thanksgiving dinner for them. And I'm mad at Klay. So you had me carving the turkey, but you carving out time for other women? I'm over here learning your grandmother's recipe, but you out here sampling other people's dishes? I'm here with your family tossing the salad, but y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. Now, Megan's got to break up with the whole family. Meanwhile, he's the one that cheated. And now all of us, we are hurting, all right? This felt like it was all of our relationship. We were all invested in this. Now, women everywhere are spiraling right now because Klay seemed like he was the one for her. We all side-eyeing our men like, yeah, so what you got going on?
Yeah, that part right there, that's what broke their souls. That's what crushed their psyches. That's what destroyed them right there. That part. Because you see, the issue is that you can't call Klay Thompson some kind of scrub. You can't do that. You can't sit up there and say he was a nobody and a nothing. You can't say any of that. You can't sit up here and say that he wasn't the dude, that he didn't have the height, that he didn't have the income, he didn't have the status, he didn't have the social circles, he didn't have the presence. You couldn't say anything negative about him. So he was a light-skinned dude. Oh, for all the good her chicks out there, and of course Meg The Stallion, of course, from the gutter. You couldn't say anything about that. So you couldn't take any shot whatsoever. You had to be all in because he checked all the boxes. So you see, if you went through all this work to get this kind of guy, and at the end of it, this kind of guy said, I would never commit to you. You're here to get laid on by me just like everybody else laid on you. Yes, I could have you, and I would never keep you. Yeah, congratulations fighting and working this hard to get to the mountaintop, because I would never fight this hard to keep you. You're nothing I'd ever want to keep. You can stay just so long as I sleep with other people. That was the soul crusher right there. He was supposed to be the light-skinned simp. And then they turned around and found out, oh no, as I told you all 6 years ago, we're all the same up here. We're all the same up here. This idea that you're going to find some rich dummy who he's just here to be manipulated and all you bring is WAP and he's here to be manipulated. That's what really broke their souls when they all realized that they have this fantasy in their heads that they will manipulate men of value, men of resources, men of status. She brings nothing but her used up draws, and that will be all it takes to get a man of infinite value. And what they found out was publicly, no, it's a lie. You can't deny it. You can't ignore it. You can't claim something different. However, that didn't stop some of the other degenerate psychos out there. Now, I know you all saw this chick right here. Folks, some delusions. People should just be embarrassed, but you can tell here whether it's the headband wig or whatever. She's waiting for her immigrant status somewhere to be, refugee status somewhere to be approved. But the internet has allowed anybody who is mentally, emotionally unstable to get a hold of a microphone and a high-speed internet connection and just stream whatever garbage. And it came out like this. She was talking about how she gave that Meg The Stallion gave him status.
Nigga, what?
She was running around talking about how Meg The Stallion gave Klay Thompson status. That he didn't have any status before she met him, that he was a nobody.
Can use that for social karma because we didn't know Klay Thompson before Meg The Stallion. We didn't know Stefan Diggs before Cardi B.
Nigga, what? How please?
Yeah, folks, she said this with a straight face and open mouth, straight off of her meds. That's literally what she said. A man with 4 NBA championships, global merchandising sales. Just because you all didn't have television at the refugee camp does not mean that the rest of the world didn't know who Klay Thompson was, ma'am. So in any case, yeah, she said it and just kept going, people.
We didn't know Klay Thompson before Meg The Stallion. We didn't know Stephon Diggs before Cardi B. And while these guys have more money than these girls have social and global influence. Meg The Stallion made Klay a global star, whether he wants to admit or not. These men like to use these women for come-ups and for social status because, like, don't ever get it twisted, girls. Social currency is still a currency. If you are well known in your circle and you are well respected, a guy can use that for social come-up because being with you makes...
Klay Thompson is already a superstar. He's already a legend. The Splash Brothers are going to go down in history because they're already there. There isn't anything higher for him to go for. So this is what happens. Understand, in the world of reputation and character destruction, lying is one of the chief weapons. And as long as you're not afraid to look like a complete blithering idiot, and clearly she is fearless, that goes ahead and happens. Now, folks, you would have thought that she got very quickly corrected, very quickly shamed and embarrassed, and that she would have backed off of it. You would think that, and no, you'd be wrong.
If you think you're coming here for an apology, or you think you're coming here for me to retract my statements, you can retract yourself back to your dirty hole that you was in before you came out to start talking
Okay, I don't know what part of the Caribbean she's from, but is there a Bati woman out there?
What?
Yeah, folks, so like I say, Miss Cleo is looking for her hairline back, ma'am.
Damn!
Okay, well, you have my permission to put the headband back on, baby, because you're looking like Biz Marquis. So it's, yeah, but if you all thought she was going to back off as stupid, you were wrong.
If you think you're coming here for an apology, or you think you're coming here for me to retract my statements, you can retract yourself back to your dirty hole that you was in before you came out to start talking I'm standing 10 toes down. I said what the I said.
Okay, she's standing 2 hoofs down. Is what she's standing.
Bro, Nene Leakes is more famous than some of your top 10 NBA players currently because reality TV and music expands to certain realms that unfortunately for you guys that in my comments, it doesn't transcend quite the same. People need to understand that outside of America, we don't even know the names of the teams here. Anyways, I decided...
If we were talking about soccer, would she be saying the same thing? In America, they don't know who Pele is. In America, Cristiano Ronaldo, they don't really know who he is, so he's a nobody. Would she be saying the same nonsense? Of course. So just making things up as they go along.
To do a deep dive because I really don't know anyone that is currently playing in the NBA. So the NBA player rankings, according to The Ringer. So number 1 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I've never heard of this man in my life. And if you've heard of them, guys, comment below. Nikola Jokic. I've never heard of him in my life. Victor Wembanyama. I've never heard of him. Luke Doncic. Never heard of him in my life. Kawhi Leonard. Never heard of him in my life. Anthony Edwards. Never heard of him. I'm gonna scroll to find... Oh, Stephen Curry. See, I know Stephen Curry. He's number 11 out of the top 10 men who are currently playing in the NBA. And congratulations to all of you. The NBA and everything you've achieved is phenomenal. I'm sure you're making money. I'm sure you're making your cities proud. But me as a UK resident, there's only 2 of you I have ever heard of in my life. Guys, don't come for me, all right?
Okay. No, I don't care what African refugee camp she picked up the Caribbean accent in.
Deal with it, nigga!
No, I really don't. Just understand when you hang around long enough, those are some of the vocal affectations you start to pick up. In any case, it hasn't prevented her from going in front of the world and spewing her nonsense with fire hydrant intensity. She's just happy to be seen for a little bit and be stupid. And okay, I wouldn't want to become internationally famous for being stupid. If I was going to make my big international debut, I wouldn't want it for being idiotic. I wouldn't want it for that. is what I wouldn't want it for. So I wouldn't want that to be what I want folks to see there. So no, they are heartbroken, but they're heartbroken for a reason. They're heartbroken for a reason, and they should be. Now, just in case you thought it was done with that, oh, no. We've got the whole roll out here. Would you like to have a couple of studs have into the chat to let you know what they think about
Men
folks?
feel like that you live the lifestyle that they don't feel like is acceptable. You should not have anything good come to you from that point on. If they think that you a hoe, they don't think that no man should ever want you. You should never be treated well by a man. You should never be taken serious by a man. Nobody should ever treat you good again because you were a hoe. If you had a baby by a man with no ring, like Ciara with Future, you should never end up with a good man. You should never find a man who's willing to be the stepfather, take care of your child like it's theirs, and love you properly. You don't deserve that. You should have your life ruined forever.
Okay, boy, they sure do get mad about that, don't they? If men don't do what you want to, you wasted my time. Women lie about sexual assault. Women lie about theft. Women lie literally every day. And men have their lives ruined permanently. Permanently. Through no fault of their own for things they didn't even do. And I'm so glad that she admitted the truth that this all goes back to Ciara, and Ciara represents what? Females in their prime choosing what they really want, which is I want to get slammed through by the most degenerate lowlives because I want to indulge my hedonistic Sodom and Gomorrah hoe phase. And then after I'm done, quote unquote, having my fun, there should be some responsible dude out there to pick up behind my garbage like my dumbass daddy. There should be a sensible man to come clean up behind Future's mess, the mess that I made with Future. And that's my idea of a happy ending. Now, is there anything more gutturally disrespectful than a culture of females that has gotten married to the idea that that's the way you should see men, is that the low lives we have fun and give them our very best years, and only after we are in decline as females, okay, where's the responsible simp dummy to come clean up this mess? And that is the best. That a responsible male who did everything the right way, he shouldn't get your best years. He should get the damaged, degraded you that's left over from your best years. And you're only pretending that you want him. You don't want him. You want the bailout that he represents. You can dump all the debt and the liability on him, and that you're going to make this something that men should aspire to. Men should not aspire to get the best. They should aspire to get some lowlife's leftovers. No, we didn't do this to you. You did this to yourself. And we know our worth. And when you want to talk about what your worth is, the reason why this hits different and hurts more with Klay Thompson is because Klay Thompson showed that he knows his worth. You're not supposed to know your worth. You're supposed to say well, your worth is whatever they tell you it is. That's what you'll have to do. Whatever they tell you your worth is, you're just supposed to accept that. And if she says that you were not good enough for her to be with when she wanted to be with Future, you're supposed to just accept that. Okay, well, now it got flipped and guys are not playing stupid anymore. And instead of them saying, you know what, we respect these men's decisions, you're supposed to just suffer. Hey, that's called adulthood. If a young man squanders his youth and doesn't pursue football or music or whatever, and those opportunities are gone for the rest of his life, that's not the world punishing him. That's his decisions punishing him. So notice how she's trying to push it off on the men. It's like, ma'am, some mistakes you have to live with. But trying to condition men that we're supposed to be the cleanup crowd for your stupidity and selfishness. Okay, that's the abusive part right there. But we'll let the stud roll on.
Ciara, with Future, you should never end up with a good man. You should never find a man who willing to be the stepfather, take care of your child like it's theirs.
Show me one fella who is in high school today, 18 years old, one fella in college today, 19 years old, who says, I want to make $2 million a year, and I'm dreaming of becoming an architect. I'm dreaming of becoming an engineer so that I can make $2 or $3 million a year. And the ideal woman for me is a 35-year-old chick who's got 2 kids by 2 other men. What? Show me the young man today who's saying, you know what? I really aspire to have that female. I'm 19 years old, and in 10 years, after a decade of hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and years, I'm hoping to find a female who's got a body count out of this world and 2 or 3 kids by a couple of dudes so that I can be the stepdaddy. Now, you would have a point, ma'am, if you could show us that. If you can't, please have a great big ass tall glass and shut the hell up.
And love you properly. You don't deserve that. You should have your life ruined forever. That's what they want. That's what they want. They love seeing that Megan got cheated on. Even though I don't even really believe in the relationship, I'm just talking about it because it's a trending topic and I'm only using it as an example because.
Okay, well, you say you don't believe in it, but now you're talking about it. Okay, so like I say, there's a culture of hating the fact that men of value, men of resources are not supposed to be able to make our own decisions. We're supposed to be easily manipulated. And so what you see is their rage at the fact that that blew up in their faces so publicly. Everybody's not PJ Washington. Everyone's not Russell Simpson. Damn! And their biggest fear is that that's about to that will become the male culture and that will catch on and that's the way it will be. That Russell Wilson's not the rule. Well, now they're having to admit he's not the rule. And that, yeah, it's just going to be a lot harder from here on in. This is their greatest nightmare come to life in real time in front of their faces.
Because it's a trending topic. The fact of the matter is, women like her, they do not believe deserve a second chance at anything. Once you've done whatever it is that you did, no good should ever come to you ever again in your life. Now, on the flip side of it, they can go out here and live any kind of way.
Okay, let's clear up something here. Nobody ever said that Ciara shouldn't, quote unquote, have anything good happen in her life. She should get the good things that are at her level and her pay grade.
And deal with it, nigga.
The problem is about getting overpaid. She should have the good things that are proportional and commensurate to the life she's led and what she has earned. You all are not arguing that she should get at the level of which she's earned and the level at which she's demonstrated what kind of person she is. You all are saying she should get way better than that. That she degraded herself and yet she should suffer no consequences and her reward should be way greater than that. And ladies, can y'all back off the filters because it looks like it's putting a beard on you, ma'am. What? Okay, y'all need to back off these filters. This is really crazy here. Just let it be. Stop with the damn filters. Go to the Sephora store, get a foundation, but these filters are not doing what y'all think they're doing.
They can go out here be a hoe. They can go out here have as many kids as they want by as many women. And then you, as a woman, you're supposed to be accepting of it.
There are no men out here saying that any woman needs to accept being with Future. Men are looking at y'all crazy because you all keep lining up to have babies with Future. So once again, you're a big liar, ma'am. You're projecting what women do onto men. Men don't have a bunch of kids like that. Ain't that right, Klay Thompson? Which is why you over here mad. The females are lined up with Future, but there are no men saying you women just need to get with Future and be happy. We men are saying, why the hell are y'all dogpiling Future? Oh, well, you get whatever you get after that. You're going to get what you deserve if you choose to be with Future. But there are no men saying that a woman needs to get with Future and make the best of it. So there's the difference. Ciara made her bed, and we're just saying you need to lie in that. Well, what about the men? Why are y'all choosing Future? There's other options. Well, he's exciting. Then you will get what you deserve. Why don't you take your other options? They boring. Okay, then you deserve whatever you get, and you should have to stick with the consequences of whatever you get. You don't want everything you ever have to give us. Okay, you chose that fate, not us.
You're supposed to look over the things that they did. Right? Especially if you're a better catch than they are. You're a woman with no kids. You're a woman who didn't sleep around. They think that you doing too much by saying, no, I don't want you either. Because
there are no females out there that this is the situation. The females who actually don't have any kids and don't look like a leftover hog, they don't have these kind of problems. So, man, all this fantasy ranting you all are doing, all this rage posting, I'm just saying, it just shows gross immaturity. You just fabricate some false reality. This is what it really is. Like there's all these on-point females with no kids out there. If they are, they're chasing Klay Thompson.
Because you're passed around. You got a bunch of kids by a bunch of different women. You're used goods. See, they don't like that. When you start doing that, then they hit you with stuff like, oh, you think that you perfect. You ain't never gonna find no perfect man. Funny, huh? Right? You deserve a second chance. Somebody should take a chance on you. You deserve happiness.
Okay, first of all, ma'am, Studette, you don't see any males out here saying that a guy like Future deserves 5 or 6 chances. So once again, you're projecting your rage and your anger and your hatred. You're trying to deflect responsibility, and it doesn't work that way. It just makes you look very psycho and very mentally unstable. No one's saying that these guys out here with kids by a bunch of females deserve anything at all. So you're just upset because women require more than men do. And the consequence is much steeper for a female when men of value decide that they're not going to play the game. Because all men have to work, but females are looking for a man who's going to take the load off of her. Yeah, but if the guys who possess the excess capacity to do that at a very high level refuse, it's just going to be a whole bunch of chicks out here lumping it, which is what's currently occurring. So I understand why you're very angry at consequences, but making up all of these phony fantasy make-believe scenarios, it doesn't help you. It just makes you look very unhinged.
But the woman don't whenever she do something that you deem is unacceptable. She live a life that you don't agree with. Nobody should ever love her properly again. But you deserve a second chance. And that's why I get so mad when y'all women give these men grace for the messed up circumstances that they come to you with.
Who are the women who give men grace for the messed up circumstances they come to them with? Who the hell is she talking about? Never mind, she's smoking that spice or something and just ranting off the dome.
Being unemployed, not having nowhere to stay, not having a car, having a bunch of baby mamas, not having no money. Why exactly would you give this man a chance?
Okay, how the hell do we go from Klay Thompson to this, folks? How in the hell did she get from Klay Thompson to this? Why does she go back to what she was talking about before? Oh, I'm sorry, because you can't stand under that. What about Klay Thompson? How about the guys like Klay Thompson? Yeah, why are they dumping you? Why are they saying, I don't need monogamy with you? Why is that the case? So if y'all notice, she couldn't even keep the lie straight. She can't even stay on subject. She can't even stay on topic. She's just meandered off into something else. This is how pathetic things have gotten over there. But then again, that's because she notice she doesn't want to bring up this part right here. She doesn't want to bring up this part right here once again. Yeah, because this is the soul crusher when you have this go on. I'm going to play a couple more here because okay, you know, I'm really going to just play one more. Let me just play one. Let me get one more in here because if you thought they were all done, no, they're far from it. They really, really are.
And that's how we know that they were. Megan The Stallion sells out the same NBA arenas that it takes 29 other men with Klay Thompson to sell out.
This is what happens when a bunch of internet ducks and birds nerds sit up here and get an internet connection and then just start spewing garbage off the top of the dome, y'all. They just say anything. They just say anything.
Megan The Stallion sells out the same NBA arenas that it takes 29 other men with Klay Thompson to sell out.
Okay, they sell it out for what, y'all? 5-6 months out of the year? Every week for 5 or 6 months out of a year. Meg The Stallion, if you give her a year of lead time, might be able to sell out that arena one time. Klay Thompson can sell it out every week. So, yeah, like I say, they just say things. They just say things, people. This is what they're reduced to. They're just looking for something to hit him over the head with. They're looking for something to hate him with. They're looking at something to go at him with, and they don't have anything. Screw it. Just make up something. Okay, who cares about facts, numbers, anything? It doesn't matter. Just say something. This was the best she could come up with.
Megan The Stallion sells out the same NBA arenas that it takes 29 other men with Klay Thompson to sell out. And that's how we know that they weren't equally yoked. So yes, she is the bigger star. It's kind of like the Travis and Taylor thing, but we don't give her that kind of credit, do we? We're not ready to talk about that. We're not ready for that conversation. Kind of credit, do we? We're not ready to talk about that. We're not ready.
I will let this picture on your screens right now speak for the mental and emotional state of the lady in question talking. I'm just going to leave that right there for a few moments just so it sinks in. Let me let that marinate for a moment there. Let me just let that go ahead and marinate there and let the juices flow in so that you all can just take it in and just decide for yourselves how reliable a source of information and consternation that this is. I just think there's so much is explained about the personality in just this one picture. I just think that just so much is explained about it. All right, I took it easy on y'all at first. We done took the first half hour here to take it easy on y'all. And we through taking it easy now, so go ahead and step up, and I want to play this before I get any further along.
Join me, and I will complete your training.
Because this incident has called so many things together, and that's why I wanted to put that together for y'all. So you're like, Jason, you playing a lot of clips tonight. Just consider this to be your definitive omnibus, debunking or documenting all these things. There's the brother here, boy. He was at the comedy club, the Laugh Factory, and he just went ahead and said it. There were so many folks there, you wasn't ready for it. It don't matter because it's dropping down on you like 10-ton bricks.
Women didn't know who Klay Thompson was. Have you seen this shit, bro? Fellas, let me tell you something. It's women online like, nigga, you wasn't shit before you met Meg. We didn't know you. Fuck a nigga. He ain't shit. You finna be busted. Ladies, let me inform you of who Klay Thompson is. Klay Thompson is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Do you understand me? First ballot. He is arguably one of the greatest shooters ever, probably top 5. Probably top 5 shooting guards ever. This nigga scored 60 points one time without dribbling the fucking ball. This nigga is amazing at his fucking job. He has made $300 million in his NBA career.
Megan The Stallion will never even come remotely close to $300 million of earnings of any type. And that's not a shot. Most human beings born will never come close to that. But yeah, by the way, that alone tells you everything.
Probably top 5 shooting guards ever. This nigga scored 60 points one time without dribbling the fucking ball. This nigga is amazing at his fucking job. He has made $300 million in his NBA career. I'm not counting endorsements. Listen to me very closely, okay? He's 6'5". I know you like tall niggas. He light-skinned. You like them niggas too. And y'all keep saying he lame because y'all thought this nigga was Russell Wilson.
Hell no. Oh, so you mean this is Russell Wilson being representative of the world of feckless, shameless, humiliated, cucked simps? So that's not just Jason Black in the business anymore. This has gone global. This isn't just an internet meme. Oh, so this has gone global. Hey, folks, you ain't heard nothing yet. What? Oh, don't worry. I'm just getting the oven baking right now. Jason, you didn't talk about this during the whole damn week. That's because when you need it from the best, I don't bring receipts. I bring invoices. I don't just tell you what you paid. I tell you what you owe. So it is now globally recognized that Russell Wilson is the world standard for embarrassed cuck males, taking other men's leftovers. No one considers him a legend. Everyone considers him a punchline. Oh, don't worry, I'm just getting started. But I just wanted to stop for a second and acknowledge that. And he just let everybody know, yeah, that's what y'all are really mad about with Klay Thompson. Y'all hoes thought you found another Russell Wilson. And what you found out is ain't nobody fighting to become Russell Wilson. You thought, ain't Ciara good enough? Hell no. Now they sitting there like with a broke little toy talking about, what do I do now? You sit over there and cry. That's what you do.
Listen to me very closely, okay? He's 6'5". I know you like tall niggas. He light-skinned. You like them niggas, too. And y'all keep saying he lame because y'all thought this nigga was Russell Wilson. That's what y'all thought. That's why women is mad, because they thought she was finna have her Ciara party. No. What y'all didn't realize is this nigga played in Oakland for hella years. He might have understood a bitch, you feel me? He might have knew how to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all keep saying Klay ain't got no game. He fuck Meg The Stallion. He say, first of all, on a bitch, hey, my name Klay, bitch. This nigga best friends with Too Short and E40. Fuck out of here. On a bitch, huh? I'm a real shooter, you feel me? Real shooter, bitch. On a Yara Klay is the name, bitch. Yara Klay. Yara Klay. It's Thompson, bitch. Don't forget it. It's Thompson, bitch. Oh no, y'all missing some shit. Women are really convinced. It's like, this nigga, he ain't never had a woman like Meg. Let me run down a little track record before her. Before Klay Thompson was fucking Meg The Stallion, he was fucking Spider-Man, bitch. He took a goddamn woman from Spider-Man. And then after that, he started fucking Coco Jones. Nigga. And she just happened to be married to a nigga whose nickname is Spider-Man. But that's neither here nor there. It's just a weird coincidence. Listen to what the fuck I'm telling you. Listen, ladies, I know you mad. I understand. Because this shit hit home for y'all. I see women actually mad. I saw women in the comments like, fuck this hoe ass niggas. I don't believe this. How can he do it like this? What do y'all want, men? What do y'all want? Hundreds of women. This their favorite response. Another fucking man? Clearly this nigga want bitches. Obviously, he don't want no obviously, he wants bitches.
What you don't like is when men show you what your value is and that man is not willing to sacrifice his value. Because you have this sick, demented idea in your head that that's what that's going to be. Well, some of y'all might be saying, well, Jason, y'all really, I mean, you said that really that seriously. How deep that goes into it, and especially that Russell Wilson thing. That Russell Wilson thing. I'm like, okay, you might disagree with me here, you might disagree with me there, but hang on tight. Oh yeah, hang on tight. By the way, shout out Cam Newton, and Cam, thank you for tipping your hat that you do listen to the program here now, because when I said
join me and I will complete your training.
It's time. When I tell y'all for years, I've been saying that sound bite is, I'm here to update your files. I'm here to update your files. Cam is here to update your softwares. All right, Cam. All right. I ain't scared to say Ukes, Cam. You shouldn't be scared to say nothing else. Just put it like that. However, folks, Cam Newton. Oh, Cam has something to say about this. And if you think that this is just restricted to me, He wanted to talk about Klay Thompson and Meg The Stallion, and oh yeah,
Klay Thompson checked all them boxes.
The beige brother got it now. He put them together.
The beige brother.
Yeah.
See, y'all thought he was a Russell Wilson.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so it ain't just Jason Black who said it. Oh! So it's not just me in some far-flung dark corner of the internet saying it. Jason, don't nobody else think that. None of his peers, none of the folk who matter. And I'm just showing y'all in one day. Oh, people, this is common knowledge today. You don't have to prove when you say Russell Wilson, nobody thinks Super Bowl, they think super simp.
And deal with it, nigga.
So that's it. When I told you all, Ciara can't flex about Russell no more because she is a liability. There's a reason that Russell would be just happy to hang up the football thing because his name is poison now. Nobody respects him. They saw who you married, dude. They know where she came from. And everywhere. This is the common narrative everywhere now. So that anybody who wanted to try to deny it before, well, Jason, that's just you. I mean, nobody else think that. Okay. Well, that was just you and Charlamagne. You know, y'all two niggas haters. Okay. I'm just sitting back in the cut. Like, you can run your damn mouth, but you will never run the business. So I just thought I would go ahead and put that on you there right quick so that you understand this. Folks been paying attention, and when it was time to speak, all of us do want to know why the females are upset about Klay Thompson, because we all knew what you've been trying to bully men and condition men into becoming. That you can sit up here and hoe yourself with the guys you really, quote, want to be with, and that the responsible males will just be sitting on the sideline waiting for you when you get done getting slummed through and run through. And then you thought you were going to hold up Russell Simpson as something that we would aspire to. And then you found out that we sat up here and clowned the hell out of him. And then y'all were like, well, we don't take that seriously. Now they have no choice but to take it seriously. And it's going to be a rough ride, gals.
Being apart is two different things.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson checked all them boxes.
The beige brother got it now. He put them together.
The beige brother.
Yeah.
See, y'all thought he was a Russell Wilson.
She tried to go Ciara.
But listen here.
She tried to 1-2 step away on
thought he
over.
was Russell Wilson. But deep down inside, he was more future than what people gave him credit.
Okay. And he took his mask off, Book. He took the damn mask off.
He was playing March Madness on that dog. I know it hurts sometimes, but you'll get over it. I
don't know if you will, baby. This is going to sting for a while. This is going to sting for a minute. If you had been quiet when old boy was doing what he do, Megan, you'd have made out a whole lot better. It would have gone a whole lot better for you if you had just stayed quiet about it, Megan, but you thought you were going to engage in reputation destruction. You thought that was going to happen. The tactics that work with H0es, you thought you were going to smear his name. And all you really did was make it where any fellow who gets with you after this is going to have to watch his back and his front. What man is going to want to take a chance on her after this? If there actually were a simp out there who was willing to take the next shot at bat, who in the hell is going to risk doing that after she's shown what she's capable of? I've warned you all about this with females before. When they go off running their damn mouths, Nicole Young, after what she did to Dr. Dre, what man is ever going to take a chance on her again? Who is the man out there who's got millions of dollars who's going to take a chance on Nicole Young after seeing what she did to Dr. Dre? No, you get to make one mistake like that, all the intelligent men are going to stay away from you. A fella who ain't got nothing to lose, that's the only one who's going to take a chance on you. That's going to be the only person who's going to be willing to take any type of chance on you. That's the only way that's going to happen. That's the only way it's going to happen because that's the only way it can happen. Before I move over to the next thing here, let's go ahead and go back for just a moment. I want to go back for just a moment. For those of you who are new to the business or never really follow what we do here and whatnot, the definitive school of power dynamics is very, very essential that you do this, because we don't just talk about what we think. We talk about what we know. We come circling back to these things, because if something that we're saying is just wrong in the short term and you can't really rely on it long term, that should be proven out. But if you can rely on it long term, we should be able to show you where the long tail proves that we're correct. So you know what? Why don't we go ahead and do a check-in on Ciara? Oh, I know this is going to hurt a lot of the fruit booty boys out there who are still holding out hope. They rub themselves to Ciara records and things. She's got like 3 or 4 male fans like that. Okay. Well, this is Ciara's Instagram. Oh, now for my Patreon members, they already know about this, but this is Ciara's Instagram. And I made predictions now going back for years. And if you all want to know where Ciara was at the last Super Bowl, Ciara was at the Super Bowl. She was at the Super Bowl. She was at the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson and with Future Jr. Oh, hey. So the music is going. I ain't going to play it, but y'all see Future Jr. and his mama are up here diddy bopping while the rest of the crowd is dancing during the halftime show. But stepdaddy back here, isn't this interesting? So mama and her kid by her first man are dancing and diddy bopping. Stepdaddy is looking like his real self. He is stiff. He is awkward. He is square. He is introverted. Super Bowl quarterback, he should be really the life of the party and the center stage up there. But do y'all see the first family is over here to the left? Yeah. The kid she had by the first man, you notice that him and his mama act similar. That's the point I'm trying to make to y'all. Is he taking after Russell Wilson? You know, when all the hoes, he called us hoes. I sure did.
Deal with it, nigga.
All the hoes who said that when he was carrying Future's baby, yeah, that's right, Russell, you clowning Future, as if all of us other males were supposed to see that as a flex. Carrying some other man's kid that you all thought you were going to condition us to think that was a flex. And you thought you were going to sit up here and brainwash us into thinking that was something we need to aspire to. That was real fly. Well, here we are years later, folks. How's that turning out? How'd that work out for Russell, folks? Hey, Cam Newton, take notes. Get on your show and highlight this part. How did that work out for him, folks? To all the hoes who tried to promote that and cheerlead it, hey, how's that working out? Who is he taking after? You see how his mama is. She diddy bopping and dancing. The boy is very extroverted. That's Russell Wilson's personality back there. Russell is very introverted. He's very shy. He don't do nothing like that. Well, y'all know who else acts like this? Future. What? By the way, you know who else performs like this? Future. Future acts like this. You know who doesn't act like this? You see him right back there, Russell Wilson. He don't act like this. His mother is a performer. She respects performance. And she's raising that boy to be like his biological father, a performer, because that was what she wanted from Future. She wanted his genes. She wanted to be a physical part of that exceptional performer. And now let me go ahead and remind y'all of the one last thing, and then we're going to get back to how this ties into Klay Thompson and why the females are angry. Because in a few years, you all tell me, when Future Jr. is in high school, if he isn't there already, yeah, Russell Wilson tried to put a football in his hands. How'd that work out? How'd that work out? Do you all think that when Future Jr. is in high school and the girls are talking to him, do you think that the girls are going to say, hey, you're Russell Wilson's stepkid? Or are you think the girl's going to say, hey, is Future your daddy? Damn! Do you think the girls in high school are going to have Russell Wilson on their phones? Or do you think in a couple of years, the girls in high school gonna still be playing Future's music on their phones? And who do you think the son is gonna associate and identify himself with? Stepdaddy or Big Daddy? Who you think is gonna be? I'm showing you this video right here. You can see what direction he's going in. After all these assurances they had and all the females online talking all their bull crap, and you notice none of them are comparing the boy to Russell Wilson. Just talking about, baby Future is so handsome, Russell's a real one. Yeah, a real damn fool, a real damn simp, a real damn idiot. Because this is the only thing that happens when you take another man's leftovers. You can squander your resources. You can squander your good intentions. You can squander everything you have. She's going to be happy to suck it up because she doesn't care where she gets a bailout from, just so long as she gets that bailout. And the rest of these birds and hoes will congratulate you to do it, but none of them will be there to comfort you when it comes up to nothing. So I just wanted to show you all, this is from this year, couple months ago, and you can see who the boy is patterned after. And you can see what he's used to doing. He ain't taking after Russell. He's very clearly taking after his father. And his mama sat there and raised him in Russell Wilson's house to do it. By the way, where are the 3 kids that she gave birth to from Russell? What? Yeah, you can see there's the other thing you want to see is that, okay, well, Jason, well, we don't know. Maybe the other kids are bopping. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I bet you they don't. I bet you the other 3 kids, the other three she had with Russell, I bet you they act more like him. Now, how is it they were all raised in the same house together, but the other kids are going to act different from Future's kid? Yeah, because the mama didn't give the same thing we said. Women don't get pregnant by accident. Women don't sleep with men by accident. They sleep with the men they want. And then when it doesn't work out and they get crazy body counts, they come back and try to gaslight men and say, well, I wasn't smart. I was dumb. He lied to me. I didn't really mean to do that. Yes, you did. If she threw them thighs open, that's where she wanted to be. What she doesn't want is accountability for her choices and her actions. She just wants to go through life like it's a big candy store and bring you the damn damage and dregs and leftovers. But she wants top dollar from you, top performance from you, no mistakes from you. All accountability for you, no accountability for her, and that's her dream scenario. And what they are angry as hell about is that they thought they found a soft sucker simp, because in their sick fantasies, that's the ideal situation, is a soft sucker simp who they can come along later and dump all this on, and he's going to treat you like you're just brand new. And what they found out is that, nope. The generations of men going forward, nope. We don't respect Russell Wilson. We think he's a joke and a clown and a cuck. He's embarrassed, and he should be embarrassed. Russell Wilson is an embarrassment and should be an embarrassment, and Klay Thompson didn't want to be somebody's damn sucker. That's all. He just didn't want to be somebody's damn sucker. And as men, we got a never-ending stream of folks trying to bully us into thinking that that's the best we can expect. Now let me show you the other reason that they mad as hell. You see what they mad as hell about is, once again, like I said, you can't accuse Klay Thompson of being no scrub. He brought the swag and the bag. All that stuff you be dreaming about, Klay wasn't bull jiving. He brought it all. You couldn't fake your way through this and say you didn't want this. You wanted this. He said, baby, what you looking for? I got it. You need the car. Now, it was a Mulsanne, which really I think has been discontinued, to be totally honest, but fabulous car. If you want a land yacht, that was really the last true Rolls-Royce competitor that Bentley had, although one came from the other. Interesting history there. You also go look up the history of Bentley and Rolls-Royce. I won't bore you to death with that. But yeah, you want the Bentley? So you want the house? I can do that. Because you see, when you sitting on $300 million of them things, what's a $200,000 car? What's a $4 million house? You sitting on $300 million of them things, and you ain't tricking it off on baby mamas and hoes. What about that? So the females saw that, and of course they said, all right, sucker incoming. That was what they took away from it. Sucker incoming. Here's our exploitation fantasy. He can be our idiot sucker. On top of that, old Klay said, you know what, baby? As a matter of fact, I got a boat, which, by the way, dwarfs a whole lot of gifts, because you all need to understand keeping a boat in a marina, especially if it's a popular place like, California, Florida, really any place, to be totally honest, but especially the hot spots. Oh, you'll pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just to keep that thing in a marina. When you add marinas and maintenance and everything else, you'll pay hundreds of thousands of dollars just to have a boat. Well, you take a look at his. I mean, that's nice. It's clean. It's shiny. And he changed the name to the H0es Stallion, Houston, Texas. I'm like, Klay, that's a smart ass move, man. That is a smart ass move. He can just remove the old name and just scratch off the stencil, put on the new names. I'm like, Klay, dude, you playing the game exactly like it's supposed to be played. He is playing the game exactly like it's supposed to be played. Now, I want to say one more thing right here. The real reason why it is pathetic, and I mean absolutely pathetic, for any of these other chicks to try to weigh in on this, because they are coming in and they are guilty of being felony stupid. Folks, I got a real simple question here. For old Stiff Jaw here. Ma'am, what was the most expensive gift you have ever in your life bought a man? What? Before a female can sit up here and complain about any man cheating on her or whatever, what's the most expensive thing you ever bought for a man? In your whole damn life, besides running your flapping lips on the internet, what have you ever bought? Show me anything of consequential value. A damn pair of socks. A gift card to Applebee's. An Amazon Prime subscription for a year. What of any significance have you ever purchased for a man? Ever? Anything that of durable good of lasting value. Anything at all. That goes for you too, Sherry Shepherd. What have you ever bought for a man of any value or significance? And you see, you heard them talking a whole bunch of mess about, Klay, he bought her a Bentley, he did that. And, you're absolutely correct. What they haven't said so much to anybody about. Understand what hurts them here, folks. They can't lie about how deep in the game Megan was, because y'all take a look at this here. Damn! Oh, man. I mean, from the very beginning, y'all, Meg was going for the gold. Meg went and bought Klay an Audemars Piguet. She got him the Audemars Piguet. Yes, sir. She came out the gate saying, here, put this 300 grand around your wrist one time. Now, of course, we all know what her real motivation was. This was a giant exercise in image rehabilitation, because she admitted that she lied to Gayle King about her relationship with Tory Lanez. As you'll all remember, she sat there on national television and lied. Lied to Gayle King. Had to get outed by, what was that, Partisan? Lied to Gayle King. Sexual relationship with who? Tory Lanez? This is in a criminal case and then comes back later and has to admit, yeah, I lied about that. Now, folks, if that had been a man, if it was a man who did that, what would Gayle King and CBS and all these other news outlets be saying about him to this day? If it was a man dating Meg The Stallion and she cheated on him like she did with several of these people, and then that guy calls TMZ, which is what Megan The Stallion did. She made a statement to TMZ through her public relations people. She sent a statement to TMZ, then sent a statement to Page 6 saying that she had ended her relationship with Klay Thompson. If that had been Kanye West, if that had been Tory Lanez, if that had been Klay Thompson, who Meg The Stallion said, I don't want to be monogamous with you, and then he goes and calls up these magazines, well, Sherry Shepherd and Stiff-Neck Roundface, they would have been saying that these guys are stalkers. They would have been calling them stalkers. They would have been calling them abusive. They would have been calling them dangerous. They would have been saying, you just need to move on. They would have been saying, a real man would not be putting a woman's business in the streets. A real man would be keeping private business private. Well, if that was a man doing it, they would have villainized him for it. She did it, and they're cheering her for it. So I want you all to remember that information didn't just come out. She went around contacting the gossip magazines, contacting them to smear his name. Yes, for those of you who didn't know, Blueface, French Montana, we can go down the list. Blueface, the one said it. She's not arguing about it either. By the way, one more thing. Blueface said it, and she isn't disputing it. And also, one more thing. This is far from a comprehensive list. This is not a comprehensive list. This is just the running list up to this point. And folks say in Young Miami, okay, for those of you who got here late, or you didn't know, or you didn't realize, or you don't keep up with things very well, man, I've been telling you all for years. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, we can go down the list. It's a bunch of these chicks are bisexuals. But when their careers get too far along and it starts looking like a negative, they stop talking about being bisexual anymore. But when you have a female who's been laid on top of by a whole bunch of men, I've taught you this now for over a decade. Any female who's been laid on top of by a whole bunch of men, hoeing is global. They never sleep with just a bunch of men. They sleep with a bunch of men and a few women. They are open to everybody. They're open to everyone. So this doesn't happen in a vacuum. You delude yourself if you believe that. And they want you to think that that doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It matters because when you're under adversity, what did Megan do? When Megan, if to any clown out there who wanted to say that Megan turned over a new leaf and she was trying to be a new person, ask yourselves this. When Megan was put under adversity, when she didn't like a situation in her life, how did she respond to it? She responded to it by attacking Klay Thompson. She responded to it by going so overboard, contacting media outlets trying to smear his name. That was what she did. That's the new Megan The Stallion? That's the wanna be a housewife Megan The Stallion? What part of that is new? This is the same old gutter hoe with Tory Lanez. There was nothing new about this. This is the same person she's been. Which is the point that we were always making. She's no different now than she was then. She's the same person she's always been. The rest of these folks just wanted us to play along. As if, well, y'all just need to go with it anyway. Well, yeah, because that's in her best interest. It's not in ours. Now, I want to show you all what's in our best interest here because I got to give full props. Got to give full props to Klay Thompson. They thought he was going to go into hide, and Klay was like, oh, no. As a matter of fact, he wanted to play a few tunes for you.
The high seas. Come on, fellas. Nothing like it. Long time, so the rhythm might not be there, but the passion is always there. God, feels good to be back. Nothing like the ocean, let me tell you. Big Blue. Oh, this is my jam right here, boys. Come on.
For those of you who are too young for this right here, is he hitting that damn Levert Casanova?
Oh, yeah. Chili, I'm thinking just like, if I see a fat sheep flat, I'm pulling the trigger. Easy. Not out here trying to.
Boy, did he say I'm back on the ocean and then he started bumping that Casanova? Did he really do that? So you thought you were going to shame Klay. You thought he was going to go into hiding. Did he really jump in the boat? And Megan should be very familiar with the boat. She's been on it a few times. Yeah, y'all, he didn't back down. He doubled down. He like, baby, go to page 6 and tell him to print this.
And deal with it, nigga.
That's what he said. He said, go to page 6 and tell him to play this part. She's supposed to be a soul crusher. See, if a female's not happy with you, when you're a bum, you're already suffering the punishment. But you see, if you're a man who's built and got something, her leaving, she's supposed to destroy you. Ain't that right, round face? Her not being happy with you, that's supposed to destroy you. You're never supposed to be the same. You're never supposed to recover. You're supposed to just be broken. And Klay is like, look here, baby, nothing stopped the train. As a matter of fact, there was already other broads in progress. You've just simply cleared up the lane. You simply cleared up the lane. That's all there is to it. So, yes, he played the game exactly like it's supposed to be played. Megan is for recreational purposes only. And that's the part that they don't like, is for men to have sexual discipline.
And deal with it.
This is the part that is steaming them, destroying them. Men are supposed to be, they need men who have lots of resources, lots of status to be sexually undisciplined, desperate to have a female, desperate for companionship, emotionally needy, so that they can step in. Any raggedy female can step in at any time and take advantage. That you will all simply be equally compromised and equally weak. And Klay has shown them a frightening preview of the future, that not only are they going to be not easily manipulated, they're going to use their resources and assets to their advantage. And I want to say one more thing right here, just one more thing, because a lot of folks don't get this. This is the part right here that's breaking souls left and right. I need y'all to understand something. When you get to Klay Thompson's level, folks, a Bentley is a write-off. You think Klay needs another car? He's not one of these struggling NBA dudes fighting all baby mamas. I'm telling you right now, he's using his money correctly. The Bentley is a damn write-off. First of all, he did not purchase a new one. I love the Mulsanne. I love that car. But that car was discontinued a little while ago. Okay, wonderful car, though. It's not like he went off and said, okay, let me go get the Bugatti Chiron. It wasn't like he did that. Couple $100,000. Klay can foot that easy. He can write off at least a third of it. The house, that's real estate. The house is real estate. That's an asset. So once again, if he buy the house, that's an asset. In the chat room, a man, Mr. A.O., longtime listener, he got that part before anybody else. They love jumping ahead of me, y'all. When it comes to the boat, she's not going to try to foot the bill for a boat at all. Jay-Z ain't giving her enough money for that. For Klay, Klay's like, baby, I got a boat. What the hell I think of a Bentley? You want to talk about fun and games? People, when you are, I put up a post, when you're a low maintenance man, you have high maintenance hobbies. So folks, a Bentley is not going to crack his finances for nothing. The house is an asset. The boat is recreation. He is still playing. He is still healthy. He's getting hundreds of millions of dollars. He's paying thousands for his recreation. Floyd Mayweather Jr. could have stood to do the same thing. This is a man who makes hundreds of millions and yet spends thousands for his recreation. That is imbalance. You can spend thousands on a boat, hundreds of thousands on a boat when you make hundreds of millions of dollars. That will never wreck your finances. The females get to come along for the ride. They get to come along for the ride. I don't know if the car is a lease or not. Someone needs to show proof. Please do not follow behind rumors on the internet. If we don't see documentation, do not believe it. Don't believe anything you ain't seen documentation for. We're pretty sure he bought the car. I will tell you one thing. Even if he gave her the car, what's that do for him? She can't drive but one at a time. So even if he gave her the car, meh. She gave him a watch. He gave her a car. He doesn't have to keep up with the crazy maintenance on it. I'm sure he's blown more money. When these fellas go to Vegas, y'all, when they go to Vegas, they'll blow $1 million at the casino. So I'm just saying, put it in that context. We talking about cats who blow $1 million at the casino. When they go overseas, they'll spend $200 or $300 million on a European tour. So you get back over here, man, it's just a car. Here's my right. His accountant gets to work. Here's my write-off. Now, if he was really smart, yes, it's a company car. You keep it in your name if you're really smart. Now, that would have been peak efficiency. As I've always taught you all, I'll let it slide even if he didn't. Although, to be honest, fellas, yeah, just keep it in your name. Lease the car, whatever. Go ahead and do that. But the bottom line is that this is what's burning them. If Klay didn't have nothing, if he wasn't orders of magnitude bigger than her, because the whole bottom line is that he was supposed to be a flex from Tory Lanez. This was supposed to be her upgrading and elevating and moving up. And oh, look, I can move into respectable society. And what she is finding out is that, ladies, when you whore yourselves during your prime years, you will never move back into respectable society. And any male who attempts to reform you, Russell Wilson, is going to get laughed out of the building. And that's reality. And you tried to act like it wasn't true, and now you can't deny it because it is. So now they're just raging and venting. Meg The Stallion is what happens when a hoe refuses to stand on her hoeing and tries to cross back over into square society.
And deal with it, nigga.
She's mad about it because for a few shining moments, Meg The Stallion looked like she was going to be able to crawl her way back into her feminine. Oh, she was like a kid from the housing projects who went to the nice side of town and got to hang out with some functional people. Got to hang out with some functional folk for a damn change. Oh, she got to be in a neighborhood where folks ain't shooting and acting stupid. She had a taste of that. Now, she's still the hoe she always been, but she figures I'm smarter than these square people on this side of town. I'm smarter than them. I'm slicker than them. I'm going to find somebody's silly ass pansy boy over here, and I'm going to turn him out, and he's going to give me my pass. And what she found out is that, baby, men see you for what you are. So for the women out there that don't want to understand this, ladies, I told you forever, generation concubine. You will be a woman, but you'll be a working kept woman. That's the first thing. Her soft life, she's still going to have to work. But also, baby, when you belong to the streets, that's the level at which we're going to deal with you at. So submit your side chick application. Damn! Welcome to the 21st century. When you want to be sexually free, submit your side chick application, but do not expect a man to commit the rest of his life to it. So the most he'll commit to you, since you are built for recreation, the most you're going to get committed to is recreation, because you've demonstrated that that's all you can handle and that's all you are worth. Recreation. And that's real talk. And you should not be mad at that. You should be happy of people dealing with you honestly. You've lived your life as an honest hoe. Now you're trying to hide it. No. Back on up. Let's deal with you as an honest hoe from here on in. Because that's who you really are. Folks, I want you to go ahead and remember what I just showed you up here. Do you realize what that dating is? Y'all, take a look at that right there on your screens. Do you realize what has she done with all these men? Do you know how many sex acts you've performed when you're a woman who's been with this? Dozens of men who come from the grimiest corners of the rap music industry. How many crazy freak off sex acts she had? And I'm talking about just the men. We're not talking about the women, because for those of you who missed that, we're not even talking about the women. What about the men? What has she done? Where has she been? Why is it the folks trying to defend her aren't bringing this up? They spent the whole week raging and did not say that her sexual history doesn't matter. They didn't bring up her sexual history at all. Isn't that odd? The only thing she's known for, and then all of a sudden they just stopped talking about it. This debunked that fantasy that men with money are all simps and easily manipulated. The biggest current female fantasy of all. The idea that you don't have to know men. You don't have to respect men. You don't even have to like men. You just have to be willing to have sex, and men will be slaves to that. Not to you. They'll be slaves to sex, but you'll be the holder of the sex, and that you'll have him under your control. Because your sex is special. Right? Which is what every female goes around saying, that sex with her is special. Sex with her is naive, is novel. Everybody else, she's just an average chick, but you get into bed with me and, well, sex with me is special because, well, it's me. Narcissism, or should I say narcissism, at its highest. And they tell themselves that this even extends to men with exceptional amounts of performance, status, and money. So that you never have to become what he wants. You just have to have sex, and that will be what he wants. So what ends up happening is females spend their early sexual years slumming their way through life, listening to other females tell them, girl, go have your fun. Well, isn't that interesting? They love telling the women to have their fun. Well, guess what? Klay is out here having his fun. And you should be celebrating that. We've heard years now, decades of them telling females have they fun. Okay, but for the men, you're not supposed to have fun. You're supposed to be responsible. Now, the females can be irresponsible to the point of having multiple abortions. Ain't that right, Sherry Shepherd? But the men are supposed to be endlessly responsible when the women want responsibility, not the women leading with responsibility. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and debunk this cheating garbage, Sherry Shepherd, Stiff Jaw, and everybody else here. First of all, you have no evidence whatsoever that Klay is cheating on anybody. I don't give a damn about a diary. I don't give a damn about a notebook. You ain't got no confession from him. And I want to hear what the definition of cheating is. By the way, you notice that you don't want this to get into legalese or legal terms. You really don't want that to happen. You don't. But by the way, what is the definition of cheating? Before anybody tries to sit up here and claim that it was cheating, I want to know what the definition of it is. And then I'm going to go a little bit further here. Let's be very, very clear about something. Even if everything that you said were complete and accurate, all that says to me is that Klay Thompson changed his mind.
And deal with it, nigga.
Doesn't a man have the right to change his mind? Why, we say that females have the right to change their mind. I mean, she can get into bed with you butt naked, rub up all over you, and at any moment, she can tell you, stop, I've changed my mind. Even mid-intercourse, stop, I've changed my mind. But we're trying to tell grown men that grown men don't have the right to change our minds and say, you know what? I've rethought you. You're not worth monogamy. You're not worth a monogamous relationship. You're too dirty. You're too grimy. I'll kick it with you, but I'm not going to be exclusive to you. It's been fun. It's been cool watching you cosplay to be a respectable female. Yeah, that's been real entertaining, and I'm glad I was in front of the cameras for it. Hey, this was better than the trip to Disneyland. But yeah, you're not worth monogamy. You took me to meet your parents, and I posted these Thanksgiving things. Yeah, that was your PR rep, but in any case, yeah, I changed my mind. Yeah, I've changed my mind. Now, why is it you don't hear any of these hoes, hood rats, slum, gutter hood hoes sitting up here arguing that a man has the right to change his mind at any time that he chooses to do so? And Meg The Stallion is admitting that he told her this. See what her first complaint is. You had me around your whole family and got cold feet. That was her complaint. He got cold feet. She's putting quotations. He's like, yeah, I don't want to go any further with you. You're not worth that. You want a bigger commitment. You ain't worth a bigger commitment. But you said, I changed my mind. Yes, I know what I said. I changed my mind. I want the men to get that through your heads, fellas. Stop trying to sit up here and say that these things didn't happen or whatever, and start looking at reality. Stop trying to argue against the bull crap that these silly ass females are out here trying to prop up here. This is the only argument you need. Hey, Klay Thompson reserves the right to change his mind at any moment. He can tell you he wants to marry you yesterday, and he wakes up this morning and says, I'm not interested in marrying you. Why not? I changed my mind. I don't owe you an explanation. I've changed my mind. Giving you an explanation is a luxury. You have no right to an explanation because those are the rules that females set. Ladies, these are the rules you laid down for the last 6 decades, that you have the right to do anything you want to, abort the children, break up the marriages, destroy the homes, be single moms, trash whole communities, trash whole cities, trash whole nations, and nobody has the right to ask you anything. You just do as you please. Okay, well then Klay Thompson and every other man that you desire to be with has the right to wake up tomorrow morning. Hell, has the right to wake up in the middle of the night tonight. Get up and get out that bed, never see you again, and while you texting him, yeah, I changed my mind. But I changed my mind. Yeah, it's never going to be just you. You ain't worth it. But you said. Women say things all the time. Women say to have and to hold, for better or worse, through sickness and death, the sickness and health till death do us part. And they are the number one breakers of that promise. Documented data evidence. Women toss out marriage. They toss out their promises. They toss out their vows before God and man. And the only excuse they give is irreconcilable differences, which means I'm not happy. Okay, so she changed her mind? All right. Those are the rules. And they want that to be for bum dudes. No, for the men you desire most. The men you desire most, those of us, they can buy the big cars, the big houses, the big gifts, raise your status. Yes, the men who can raise your status and redeem your hoe card, they have the right to change their mind. He's got the right to change his mind, go into his Rolodex, go into his phone book, hell, maybe hit up the DMs. He has the right to do that at any time. You have the right to have an abortion at any time. Over his say-so, over his objection. You don't have to explain anything to him. You can file for divorce behind his back at any time. Hell, you can break up the relationship. A female can be telling you she loves you this afternoon, immediately go over to another man's house, have sex with him, and say, I changed my mind about our relationship. You changed your mind on the way over to his house? All right, Klay changed his mind. That's all there is to it. So I want to know the definition of cheating, because I think Klay just changed his mind. That he decided that, I don't have to have exclusivity on them butt cheeks. She ain't worth all that. She ain't worth all that. When Lori Harvey broke up with Michael B. Jordan, you couldn't accuse him of cheating on her. What did he do wrong? And females were still cheering Lori Harvey for that. No crime. He didn't do anything wrong. She changed her mind. You a lame. So they went from loving Michael B. Jordan to like, you a lame. Okay, well, Klay Thompson decided you're a hoe and a lame. And you can stick around, but you will not be the only option. As a matter of fact, I already know that you like being with chicks, so I got a couple of them we can do the freak off with, and that's where you rank. Yeah, because that's where her value is, and she worked very hard for it. Stop asking or demanding men to lie. Your Russell Wilson fantasy is dead. The bottom line is that no matter where you all keep trying to dig, there is no man who wants to build himself up just to become a Russell Wilson. Doing all that work for all that years to gain all that value and resources through blood, sweat, and tears and adversity, and just to end up with some scummy rapper's leftovers. Get your hoe ass back over here for the freak off. That's where you gonna be. Hope you enjoyed the ride in the Bentley. Hope you enjoyed cruising on the boat. Hope you enjoyed on the red carpet. But at the end of the day, this is all you really good for. So we're not going to overpay. Your fantasy is finding a Russell Wilson who will overpay. And all he does is get laughed at. The real reason that Klay Thompson hurts their damn feelings is because Klay Thompson is respected among men. He's respected among men on masculine terms. And Russell Wilson ain't. So even if you could find a Russell Wilson, the problem is they hate the fact that we done tore the damn brakes off of him because Russell's a laughing stock. There's no value in being with him or anyone like him. So they had to go back to the drawing board. They were hoping for a reboot. And when they got Klay Thompson, they said, yeah, see, Ciara wasn't a one-off. We found a reboot. And yeah, because Klay is actually respected among men. All these other dudes out here with stepdaddies, they're not respected by men. There are no men who want to be them. They found Klay. It's like, damn, there's a fella that the men respect and look up to. They admire him. Well, now we'll punk him too. And then found out, nope. No, he's respected by the men. See, that's what made him the real prize, was finally one that's respected by the men. And he's like, no, he thinks you're a hoe too. I thought he was not like Tory Lanez. Like, no, you're a hoe to him too. Well, he won't do you like Tory. No, he's probably... Here's the thing. Remember, when they were with Tory, they were what, Kylie Jenner's house or whatever. It was Kylie, and he was sleeping with Meg The Stallion's girl and Meg did not want to admit it. Now, Meg knew all this and lied through her damn teeth. So she was already freaking off with Tory before, and yet... When Klay is like, you know what? That's where your pay grade is. That's where you rank. That's where you qualify. And now she wants to jump on talking about, no, I don't. Heifer, you did when you were with Tory Lanez. How in the hell is it that you good enough to freak off for Tory Lanez, but you ain't, and well, whoever else it was, but you too good to freak off for Klay Thompson? Klay Thompson can foot Bentleys and mansions and boats, but you're too good to be a third leg for him? You good enough, Tory Lanez is good enough for you to be the third leg on his train, but not for Klay Thompson? Oh no, baby, you disrespecting Klay now. Klay knows his damn worth. So if you were good enough to be that hoe for them, you're good enough to be a hoe for a fella on this higher level. Oh, you good enough to do it up here too? As a matter of fact, you better do it better than you ever have when you were back down there. That's where you rank. Ladies, get over this exploitation fantasy that you are going to get men to overpay. There will be a simp sucker out there who will get laughed at. But just understand, he is only one random visit to the grocery store away from being completely and thoroughly humiliated by one or all of the deadbeat males that you slummed yourself with before him. Every simp who tries this, no man who respects himself is going to put himself into a position to get emasculated and humiliated by other men. The fellas who have all ragged you through and slummed you through, that's going to be what he has to live with. You're okay with it because that's your history. Yeah, but it ain't his. You've already sold out your self-respect and dignity for your sex acts. Yeah, but he didn't do that. So even if you do find the perfect simp, by the way, he's going to be paying the damn bill. If he runs into somebody that you slept with accidentally or whatever, and they make that look or give that look, or they DM him and say, yeah, I know what your wife looked like naked, nigga. What? And you sitting there like, what? And they like, would you like to see it in 4K? And she wants to sit there and tell you about the stuff she never did and wouldn't have done, and that's all right. And he's got to spend the rest of his damn life hoping that nobody ever sends him an envelope, sends him an email. He can never get too famous. He can never get too well known. Where he's at in life, he just has to stay there, because if he ever tries to go any further, there's somebody else who has all that social ammunition they need to blow his life clean to hell. That everywhere he goes, he has to keep his head down. He can't never really big step out with you. He can't never really do that, because there are too many other men who can tear that to ribbons. So how does he ever completely commit to you or invest in you? Hell yeah, you're getting all the damn benefits, and he pays all the liability. Russell Wilson has had his soul evaporated from him trying to undo his own awkward stage, and he found a chick who saw how vulnerable he was, and now he's trading the damn farm, and I just showed you all, well, that added up to nothing. And so they thought Klay Thompson was supposed to be a representative of all the rest of us. All the rest of us men, Klay was supposed to be our representative, and they figured that if they could conquer him and domesticate him, that would serve as an example to the rest of us that all of us just need to forgive the hoes too.
Damn! Nigga, please.
That was what they were hoping to do. That if they could domesticate and conquer Klay Thompson, that he would serve as a role model to the rest of us, that we all need to just go ahead and start forgiving the hoes too and give them a second and fifth chance. Because the truth of the matter is, and then I'm getting ready to open up the Zoom here in just a moment, the truth of the matter is, the reason why that so many females out here are so sympathetic to Meg The Stallion is because, baby, you know your damn body count is in the disgusting dozens too.
And deal with it, nigga.
Ladies, we just got to put it on the bricks. The real reason you all are so, quote, sympathetic, ain't that right, Sherry Shepherd, is because you know your sexual history is pretty damn grimy and disgusting too, so you can identify with her, and you are desperately hoping that the men of your dreams will be willing to overlook that and give you a value you simply don't deserve. You're 50 shades of punk. Your ultimate fantasy is that men will just give you whatever you want. You don't deserve it. You can live the scummy life you always dreamed of. And that at the end of the day, there won't be a price to pay. It'll just be all upside. When you wanted to be a hoe, you had all the hoe options you wanted. And when that didn't work out, there'll be somebody to save you and just everything is upside, all upside. No downside, no penalty, no consequences, and that the men are just gonna be fine with it. And so the brutal reality now is, damn, they got a brutal wake-up call. Not only are the men not happy with it, the culture is very clearly aligned against it. You won't be able to bully your way out of this, and you won't condition the males to accept less. They know their value. Your sexual history destroyed your value. And you are not going to bully them into artificially inflating it. You Blueface's one night stand. You Tory Lanez's third wheel. That's where you're Young Miami's whatever. And we need to deal with you where you are. But this generation of chicks who hold themselves in their 20s and 30s and then, well, let me throw this Hail Mary for a sucker later. There will be no respectable male to bail you out. The moment he gets with you, he's no longer respectable. The best you can do is recede into obscurity. That's the best you can do. But the only thing that's going to happen by trying to redeem yourself is a whole bunch of humiliation. So, Meg, you are for recreational purposes like all the other females like you, whether they are famous or not. And the ride is over. Klay simply had his turn. He enjoyed it for what it was. And now he's done. Now, you, on the other hand, will be in the precarious position of trying to convince somebody else to bet the house on you, but Klay played it correctly. As I taught you fellas, if I can convince you fellas to go ahead and have crazy, wild, woolly sex with these chicks and then send her ass home. Which is exactly what Klay did. That's the role model that the men need to emulate. That one right there. However, you might disagree. Therefore, we pinned the link to the Zoom there. Looks like it's at the bottom of the chat room. So you can go ahead and click there, sit back, smile, and dial. Anybody who has been instructed to call in, that is not a request, that is an order. I know we dumped a lot of video clips. We dumped a lot of information here. A whole bunch of folks jumped out the gate because they love chasing these things when they first happen. You all know me. I'll wait to sit back to see if we can gather further details. I wanted to see what other folk were going to say about it, see what the fallout was going to be. It was the typical suspects. All the single moms. Isn't this amazing? For Meg The Stallion doesn't have any kids, probably aborted them, but the single moms were the first ones to come running to her defense. That's what tells you that this is not about Klay Thompson. This is about men need to be accepting of hoes. Men need to just learn to commit to the hoes. If a chick wants to be a slut her whole damn life, the men need to just commit to it, and that if she doesn't say anything else about her hoeing, you shouldn't say anything either. If she pretends that that no longer exists, you should play dumb and pretend along with her. Now, as a man, your productivity, your resources, your finances, well, we can't pretend about that. That's got to be real. We can't play make-believe about that. You have to actually have that. But as far as her purity and respectability, well, she doesn't actually have to have that. You can just play along and make believe that she really has it. But she doesn't have to actually get it. You just need to be okay with whatever she throws down. That's the whole reason why Klay, being as productive as he is, that's what makes him sting. What makes it sting is that she's like, I'll be damned, this fella is living a sensible life. It's sane, it's quiet, it's structured. Even though that she saw him as a lame and a simp who was easy prey, she felt like, well, I'll be damned, I'm sitting in the high chair. And then found out that, yeah, he's using it the way he's supposed to. Whoever Wolf 1 is, he can go ahead and give me a call up on Zoom. Let's go ahead and get him to give me a call up on Zoom here, along with the other folk, by the way. Remember, people, if you have disputes, you do not make the disputes in the chat room. You make them directly to the host. That's exactly why you have it here. After all, if a mistake has been made, I'm not the only one with the microphone. I'll hand you the microphone. If there's something that's been said that's incorrect, you're not to be disputing in the chat room. You pick up the microphone and address it to everybody just the same way I do. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom right quick. Let me see if we can get James up here on Zoom for us here. Let me get James up here on Zoom. Yeah, I mean, playing house. How the hell are you playing house? He was the one who bought the damn house. What? I mean, they just say stuff. They just say things. She can't be mad because you can't claim that you didn't really want him. She wants to try to say something negative about him. But the bottom line is she can't lie and say that she didn't really want him. What she needs to do is go find her another damn Tory Lanez, another damn French Montana, another damn Blueface. That's her lane. That's the caliber of male that can trust her because they know what they're getting. These hoes trying to walk around like wolves in sheep's clothing. Now, get that damn lambskin off of you. Stop trying to get men to see you as something that you're not. Stop trying to get men to treat you as something that you're not. Stand on your hoeing. Yeah, I don't give a damn what you do for a living. You can be a lawyer. You can be a doctor. You can be a politician. You can be an astronaut. That's great. That's wonderful. That's your job. That's not your character or personality. You are the astronaut hoe. That's who you is. Let us respect you for who and what you are, not masquerading as who and what you aren't. We can respect an honest hoe. Let me explain something. Folks, it's the 21st century. We can respect an honest hoe. This is the part right here that is damn insulting. It's insulting to our intelligence. We can accept you being an honest hoe. That's cool. Be an honest hoe. They don't want to be honest hoes. They want to be reformed hoes. And can we just play along? No. We can respect you being an honest hoe. That's like a fella. Understand something, y'all. We respect Snoop Dogg. We respect the gangsters. You know why? Because they never told you that they wasn't gangsters. When they came through the door, man, we was players, pimps, gangsters, street dudes. They never came through the door talking about I'm Ivy League educated. I'm from the suburbs and leave it to Beaver. You got to respect them on street terms. We can respect you for being an honest street dude. We can respect you for being an honest street dude. Okay, we're going to have to treat you in that street dude frame. You ain't father knows best. You a street dude. So let us treat you and respect you within that street dude frame because that's where you are. Stop trying to get us to treat you dishonestly. You have a right to expect us to treat you honestly. You a street dude. Okay, we ain't got to hate street dudes. We got to deal with you in that street dude frame. We got to deal with you in that street dude frame. If you a hoe, be an honest damn hoe. Let's just deal with you from the hoe perspective. Because if she did, Klay would still be buying her ass Bentleys. He would still be buying her ass red bottoms. She would still be on the damn boat today. if she allowed him to deal with her honestly. She made her career on selling her sexuality and being a hoe. Now when a man says, okay, let's discuss your hoe place in my life, all of a sudden I don't want to be that. Give me something else. No, let us treat you with respect. Be an honest hoe. Let's deal with you from there, because that's a role you can actually sustain. That's a role you can actually sustain. That's something you can actually keep up with. I can actually trust you to go ahead and stay on top of your game with that. These other responsibilities, you can't really handle any of that. You can't really handle any of that. So we don't need to put that in your hands at all. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom right quick. I got a bunch of folk up here on Zoom for me here, so let me go ahead and grab Prince right quick. Prince, what's on your mind?
Okay, brother, this is very important for young women because the older women ain't going to listen because they need to see that the young women need to see because they get a lot of, I guess, I don't know, I ain't going to say nostalgia, but, you know, a lot of fairy tales about these people's lives, and they need to see something like this from a Klay Thompson. Let me ask you this, brother. How was Klay Thompson was able to transition out of this smoothly without an NDA, and Tiger Woods had an NDA and the woman still gave him grief? Are those different situations?
Well, no, I mean, it's actually the same thing. Because if you take a look at her original attack story that she put out, I mean, you can see that she was going in that direction because that's just standard operating procedure. Cheating, had me around his whole family, playing house, got cold feet, holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me. So you see, she's trying to infer something. You see what I mean? So they all play for the same playbook. They're trying to infer that he abused me. You see, she wants to say that he abused me, he attacked me. You see, because she saw how well that worked against Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
So there's the real issue right there. It's not anything new. She was going for the same playbook.
And she
was going for the same one. She said this worked on. All of them do the same thing. They have been conditioned that all I got to do is say he hit me, he abused me, and she couldn't actually say any of that. So she tried to edge as close to it as she could. Mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. What treatment? You ain't said nothing about it before now. What is this alleged treatment? She doesn't have anything.
He saved himself a headache. He handled that. What have you done, brother, to Ciara's prayer? You basically decimated it. Do you feel any guilt behind that?
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't do it years sooner.
And deal with it, nigga.
That's my only regret. I'm just sorry I couldn't do it years sooner. The media went together. The internet went together. Everybody wanted to play along about this idea that we're going to beat the men down and bludgeon them into maximizing their value so that all the hoes can come back and circle the block. And all the guys that they ignored in their 20s, when they get done getting slummed through and run through, they'll just circle back around to you later with all their kids and STDs and mental emotional baggage and sicknesses in tow. And you're going to give them this wonderful life of reliability. She doesn't really want you. She just wants to bail out, and you'll just be her sucker for the rest of your life. And basically she can get away with the crime. Not that they shouldn't commit the crime, but that they're going to get away with it and you're going to bail them out. So no, the sooner you can debunk and derail that culture, the better it'll be. So yeah, the only good news about Ciara was that they did it so big and so blatant that now we have a mascot that we can use to reinforce our position.
I got two quick questions. Number one, how do high dollar gifts confuse women? What were they expecting by him buying her this Bentley, this type of Bentley? What did that make women think? What? That oh, I'm in now, or she's killing the game because he tricked her because he showed a commitment by buying a car.
Well, it's not about the car, sir. It's about what the car represents.
Yes.
These are durable goods. These are high value goods. So it's not about the car. It's about what the car represents. So what it represents is that this is the result of a man's labor. Show me a man's checkbook and his bank account, and I'll show you what he believes in. So that's what it is. It's about what it represents. These are not low value, easy to attain things and whatnot. That's what it means. And also you're doing it over an extended period of time. So what it does is it shows that a man is willing to demonstrate the value that it means to him through his labor.
Okay.
That in turn is supposed to show the female has an irrefutable argument. This is a status symbol that can't be faked. We can't fake this car sitting right here. Even if you don't know the circumstances in which it was acquired, you cannot fake its presence. And you have reputable media outlets attesting to these transactions happening. So these are status symbols that can't be faked. So you see, I'm no longer stuck in the Tory Lanez era. I've leveled up, and I'm not the one saying it. This guy over here in the NBA is the one saying it. Sound familiar, Ciara?
Yes.
From a rapper to a ball player. Let me go find a square. Okay. Meg The Stallion said, oh, that worked for her. It'll work for me. And that's what it was supposed to do. The other thing is females do these things to compete with other females.
Yes.
So if one female gets a level up, this is why we're in this vicious cycle right now. You got a baby mama who was dating a dude who worked at Circle K, and then it becomes, oh, I need a fella who does better than that. Okay, but the next female who sees it, they just up the ante. So here's a Circle K. I need a man who's working at, Whole Foods or whatever. Oh, I need a fellow who's driving the truck there. I need one who's the regional manager. I need one who's the president of the company. I need one who's making $1 million. I need one to... The females keep doing that. So it's not good enough for them anymore to have a guy who's at their level. And it's not even because their level is very low and there's nothing really they can do about that. I posted that on Facebook earlier this week. A man can change his income. A female can never change her body count.
No, she can't.
So it doesn't matter how many years you do that. Ciara will always be Future's woman.
Deal with it, nigga.
You're carrying Future's kid around. You are always going to be his woman. That's just it. Now you're looking for a man who doesn't mind sharing you with another man. And there's the issue. So these physical goods are supposed to show that you've outclassed them. It's supposed to be validation from somebody else. And to an extent it is. I just want to put in perspective that, you know what? Money is a game to men.
Damn! Always.
Money is competition to us as men. Women will never be able to outdo us at that because they're not willing to work as hard as us and they're not willing to die for $1. So they'll never be able to outbid us. For a man with resources, money is a game. It's a game. You get together with your accountant 3 or 4 times a year. You talk about what you're going to get. He lays down some strategies for you. Really, you just call your accountant and ask him tell him what you want to do. And then he tells you how you can do it. Here, avoid the taxes. Here, we can make some gains over here. And it's a game. It's competition. That's why men have 10, 12 cars, 4 or 5 houses. It becomes academic. You can't drive all them cars. You can't live in all those houses. It becomes a game. And where scheming females get lost is by thinking that we bet the house on it. That's why they want you to get the kid. Because the child is unlimited liability. Now she gets access to grabbing your bank account and start writing the numbers herself. But as long as she can't get you with a kid or under the state, you write the rules. And this is really a game, bro. I'm just going to tell you, as a man, after you've bought your third or fourth $150,000 plus car, it doesn't even register you anymore. The first time you do it is special. Let me get it. It's special the first time, and it still has some ring to it the second time. Brother, by the 4th or 5th one, it's like buying a nice pair of shoes. It's like buying a nice pair of shoes. It really is. It's very nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not this novel thing, nor should it be. Furthermore, it shouldn't be.
No.
So for us, money is a game. It is a game. It's how we keep score as men. It's how we're competitive against other men and life and other situations. It keeps us on our toes. It reaffirms our value. It shows us about our productivity. And females value that too. But if you're a smart man, let her believe about your money whatever the hell she wants to believe. Just so long as you remember, at the end of the day, this is just a game. What DJ Quick tell you, money gets made, money gets spent. It's going to get made again, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight here. We appreciate that. Let me see if we can get James up here on Zoom for me here. Yeah, that's the thing right there. She ain't never going to buy a boat. She's not going to pay for that upkeep. And she's never going to buy a Bentley because she doesn't want to pay for that upkeep either. All right, James, unmute yourself. Lower left-hand corner microphone. James, you are killing my program. James, we have been through this before. All right, somebody contact James' daughter and tell her to come over and help him with this thing. All right, let me see if we can get Morpheus up here on Zoom for me here right quick. All right, Morpheus, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on, Jason? Great broadcast. I knew this was going to end since the beginning. I know she didn't. One thing I didn't see on here that you didn't show was the first time we knew about this relationship, she did a selfie, right? Like about a pool. And Klay had been in the background, like way in the back. And the whole internet was trying to figure out who that guy was. And then they realized it was Klay Thompson.
Yeah, sneaking photos and whatnot. Yeah, because niggas don't really want to claim you. This idea, hoes don't want to accept where they really at. Niggas don't want to claim you. Let us just be happy kicking it with you. Let us just be happy hanging out and having fun. She's like, hey, this is real nice. You should want to keep me. Actually, I shouldn't. Let's just keep it where it's at. That's what I mean. For men, you're expected to be disciplined. Whatever limits she wants to put on it, you're supposed to just stay there. But when you start saying, okay, these are the limits at which I want to deal with you. Now, you should go beyond that. So they only have a problem with it when you start putting limits on it.
Facts. And the way she got all mad that you're showing it right now, it kind of confirmed it at the end. You can't be monogamous. So it's obvious they were fooling around, quote unquote, friends with benefits or whatever you want to call it. And she tried to upgrade herself. And you could tell it too by the body language. Every time you saw them in public, she's super happy, teeth showing, and you don't see no teeth on him at all.
I mean, there were a few times there were. So, I mean, I will say that much right there. But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, let's just be honest. The folks who were cheerleading about this most, they were just hoping she could get over on him. This is all about men need to be used. Russell Wilson, your job is not to be happy for yourself. Your job, the best you can do is be a servant to Ciara and to help redeem it. That's what you need to be doing. As opposed to a man saying, no, my values first priority is to benefit me. That's the first priority, not to be just handed off to somebody else. So they knew what they were doing. They were just hoping that they knew that this was a really scummy, slummy thing that she did with Tory Lanez. Her reputation never recovered. And they were hoping that Klay could be used to liquidate all of his social status in order to be a reboot for her. And all it did was this just ended up blowing up in her face so bad. This just reminded everybody about how bad she is in the first place.
No, exactly. And also, I know you didn't show that meme. I guess you don't want your count to go bad or whatever. You know, that meme that's going around, the cartoon picture of her being bent over and all the guys she's been with. You notice a lot of women got mad about that too, because it confirmed what you and other men have been saying, that your past matter. Look at Russell Wilson, like you said. Russell Wilson's name is a noun now. His name is a noun. You know what I'm saying? So like, whenever you see someone, your homeboy slipping, you're gonna go to him like, yo, don't be a Russell Wilson. That's at a regular dude level like myself. I'm pretty sure that's at the level where you at.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole point. Look, I took the slings and arrows from the beginning. For those of you who were there and whatnot, I'm really the guy who kicked that off from the very start. Nobody was really banging on that particular thing. They saw it. I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to pretend I don't see this. And I want to call it for what it is because I saw what they were doing. This was a naked attempt at trying to bludgeon the male population and saying that we all need to just build up our value, work like hamsters on a wheel, work our tongues out. And when a chick circles the block, we just need to forget her damn past and drop our productivity in her lap, no matter how grimy she is. And what that does is that completely ignores the fact that the only thing a man gets in a relationship with a woman is the woman. That's all you get. You don't get her status. You don't get her income. You don't get any of upward mobility. Everything you get, you got to have for yourself. Now, you can transfer your status to her. Your status can rub off on her, but you don't get any of those benefits. All you get is her. Okay, but if her rep is dirty and sleazy, then as I said, you're competitive against other men. Yeah, but this woman gives other men the ability to humiliate you. She gives other men the ability to undermine your status. Do we still work our hardest for a woman who undermines our status? No. And worst of all, they wanted to believe Klay was a square. They wanted to believe he was a square because what this really reveals is that a lot of the females out here, they really are itching to just get over on men. This is really predatory, and they're really looking for somebody they can just get over on. And they want you to be Mr. Nice Guy because, oh, good, you'll be an easy victim. And that's really where they're coming off at it, from Sherry Shepherd to Stips to all the others. I told you, they hate men, they despise them, and really you're just here to get used. And she wants to get you before you can get her. Well, the fellas are just showing you, yeah, I'm not as dense as you thought I was, and I can show you that I'm smarter than you. And Klay just showed her, I'm smarter than you. That's all.
Yeah, and it's also exposing women of who they really are. Like one of the women you showed on here, the one you call Round Face, her whole thing online is trying to seem like she's on the men's side, and she basically blowing her cover with this. But another thing I wanted to point out was one of the reasons why men don't like Megan, that since women want to ask this question, when she was in court, she had to admit that she cheated on her then boyfriend Party with Tory Lanez. And men, once you see that, we don't like that. And then she raps about that type of behavior. So any man that would take her seriously, whether it be Klay or anybody, is going to be the next Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he made a whole song about it.
Yeah, he has feminists on his freaking stomach, the Party guy.
I mean, he just went all the way in. But what I am telling you, though, is that gives you an idea of the kind of guys she's used to dealing with. So she's real slick about it. She looks for fellows who dive out the damn window. And so she looks for them to make gestures. Prince was talking about why those physical things matter and those high value items. Well, yeah, that's a female getting you to show what level of sacrifice you're willing to do, how far you're willing to go. These are things you can't really undo. I mean, I don't give a damn how much money you got. When you go buy Bentleys and houses, you can't just unwind that. That's not the way that works. It's not like going to Walmart and returning your shoes. That's not the way that works. So when you do those kind of things, that matters. So she wants to get you to extend yourself and hopefully overextend yourself. And okay, now I have dominance. I got you right where I want you. Well, what did she do with him when she got him where she wanted him? He tattoos her lips on himself. I mean, we talking about some real submission moves he was making. He tattoos feminists. I mean, he's just trying to show her that she's the man. And how did she repay him for doing that?
Yep.
Okay, nigga, now you can taste another man on me. That's how she repaid him. And none of the females talking about Meg have brought that up at all. Now, ain't that funny?
Exactly. Oh, one other thing. I was going to say, they think he's a sucker. I think they thought he was a sucker because he has a 2-family household, and that also gives you an idea in their mind that you come from a good house home and you don't have like a lot of tattoos, that you must be a sucker. He's about the same age I am. He's 37. I'm like 38. He's about the same age. He's been around and he's famous, so I know he's seen a lot of stuff. And I'm pretty sure there's rumors about her already. There's probably secret tapes already because we know she's been with rappers. You don't think she been with other NBA players?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that just underscores what I was talking about before. They're looking for victims now. I mean, this has gotten to a really disturbing stage where they're just open. Yeah, we're looking for a fella to prey on. Oh, look at you. You look like you come from a, quote, good family. Let me see if I can get over on you. Let me see if I can victimize you. They're not looking for fellas who are streetwise like them and whatnot. They fancy themselves as, I'm streetwise and you're naive. Let me get with a naive fella so I got the edge on him. And I can take advantage of it because he will be unsuspecting. And what they found out is, no, he's hip to it. As a matter of fact, he got plans for you. As a matter of fact, now they're screaming because, oh, you're not naive. We thought you were naive and clueless.
And I think this is the last train running for her. And I think she went so hard because, let's keep it real, she's not selling out. The music industry is not doing that good in general. She's not selling out concerts because that's where the money's at, doing concerts. I mean, Cardi B's selling out, but she's not. They had to close. The last time she was doing it, they had to close it down. So she thought she had a nice little lick. And her getting all mad on the internet, who wants to be with that anymore? Let's say you do try to just mess around with her and you're an NBA player or whoever, and you just decide that you change your mind, like you said, she's going to blast you on Instagram. Now, most of these chicks do that, but it's one thing when a regular girl is blasting you, a famous woman.
Okay, let me correct that right there. You said, and most of these chicks do that. Well, hold on a moment. Name 2 others who have done this.
No, I'm talking about like regular girls. You see,
Right. And that's my point is name 2 others who have. Ain't been one in her position. Yeah, it's some Instagram thought who, slept with an NBA player somewhere or something. Or the chicks, these rappers like, Lil Baby just keep running in the door. He keeps running in the rakes. He keeps stepping on rakes. Okay. But I'm talking about somebody like her with dudes buying Bentleys and really doing stuff. Nah, the chicks are usually smart enough not to do that. So she's really a one-off. All this, I'm just telling you, brother, for the fellas who qualify to be like a Klay Thompson, I'm nowhere near that league, by the way. But for the fellas who qualify for that, dude, they're not going to extend themselves for this. You go on a list. Okay, we see what you did with him. All right, we see that. All you are is liability. That's all you are. Now, let's talk about this little music industry thing. Let us be clear. Meg The Stallion has never been profitable to the level that she has needed to be. When she was picked up by that baseball player who made his little record label and whatnot, and then Jay-Z and them came in and muscled in and got her away from him and whatnot, the whole idea was that she was supposed to be the second coming of Cardi B. That was the whole idea, that they were going to ride that wave and that was going to happen. The album sales never materialized that way. It never happened. However, she's 360'd up and they got her for the rest of her life. So they're doing the exact same arc that they have to do. Okay, and by the way, if you saw 8 a.m., I know, but if you saw 8 a.m., we talked about that in the movie. Well, maybe you're not doing good as a music artist. Let's see if we can put you in a movie. Okay, maybe you're not doing good as a movie. Let's try a TV show. She-Hulk on Disney. What? By the way, She-Hulk on Disney. Okay, well, maybe you're not made for television. Let's send you to Broadway. What's she currently doing on Broadway? Moulin Rouge. So, folks, if y'all want to know how a Rihanna ends up in Sephora, that's because you signed the damn dotted line, and they are going to take care of that back end work, negotiating that deal, and let's try this, because they getting half your damn money, or even more than that, for them. So you sign a deal with them basically where they get you hooked up in these places and you are a product that they trial out there. So we'll name some spicy chicken wings after you, or this bourbon over here, or a trim of a car over here, or okay, let's put you on Broadway and see if this show makes money. Okay, we'll try to put you as a concert here for just one because you ain't selling no real tickets. So just understand that. How does she get approved to be on Broadway? What has she done that has told any Broadway director, all my folks in New York, y'all know how damn hard it is to get to Broadway? That's the hardest damn place in the world to get on. Hollywood stars who've been around for decades can't get on Broadway. And Megan The Stallion is there already? Based on what? What is her filmography? What is her dramatic roles that she's done that made people say, you know what, you're a natural for Broadway? Come on, man, that's Jay-Z, that's Rock Nation. That's them saying, okay, let's see if we can leverage her name recognition since the music ain't doing it. But let's try a movie. Let's try a TV show. Let's try Broadway. So, brother, they're doing a whole lot more than just movie concert tickets to try to make up for that lack of record sales. But you're absolutely correct. She is not selling music. Only the dense dunderheads who are just way out of practice still think that she's selling music. She's not selling any music. She hasn't been selling music for the longest time, and that was the problem. As a matter of fact, did she remember she was supposed to put out another album and never happened. That's why everybody was like, Cardi B, when that new album coming out, Cardi? We've been waiting for it. And that's why folks are asking those kind of questions, because that's what tells us whether or not you're selling anything. And what we're really seeing is these folks are living off streams, man. And to the ones who can get in the concert, that's fine. But a lot of these other folk, it's just Rock Nation pushing them. Let's see if something sticks.
Yep. She was better off just not saying anything at all on Instagram, making it seem like they just left each other nicely. She was better off doing that. I think if she did that, she might have get another Klay or something close to it. What do you say, or no?
I mean, this is what happens when you have a bunch of chicks around you who don't have any impulse control. So the bottom line is, it would be different. She's just showing how she ended up being where she is. What happened that night with Tory Lanez and her friend at Kylie Jenner's place? What happened that night? I submit to you what she did this week. Yeah, that's what happened. Right there. Mm-hmm. She didn't just go home. She's like, oh no, I'm going to go off. I don't care about my music. I ain't selling nothing. I don't care about my name. I ain't got one. She showed you who she really is, and that no, she has not changed. That incident that night was not a one-off. That's who she really is. And as soon as you applied some pressure, she didn't show you, you know what? I'm a new person. Klay, if you think them other chicks can do you better than me, we'll go for it. We'll see how that works out, but I think you fumbled the bag myself. But you know what? If you think they can do better, well, you go for that. Now, that's what a real chick would have done. But that's not Megan. And that's why most females gravitated to that, because that's how they would have responded. Yeah, you know that she's the one who lost. Okay, well, let me tear him down. Baby, you can't tear him down. You can't. Only thing you can do is go make an ass of yourself. And that's what she did. I'll let you have the last word.
One last thing, going back to his parents, yes, he has a white mother, but I see a black father, and I looked it up, and his father is Caribbean. I forgot which Caribbean island. And let's be honest, you know how they feel about us, that are FBA background, and they all think we're ghetto anyway. And then she's showing ghetto behavior. So, that already checked them out right there. There's a video, I guess they were at a party or something, and she just starts, it was a black tie party, and she just starts getting real loud at the black tie party. And if you just look at his face, you can just see.
Yeah, Klay just looks so thoroughly embarrassed. He looks like that. About the parents and stuff like that, I don't really know them like that. The father, here's the thing about it, okay? And once again, females love this. I put up a post earlier today when I was talking about a female will lay you in the same bed that she done slept with 10 other dudes in. What? I mean, women are shameless. They will, if you go to a woman's house, fellas, you are taking your chances. If you sleep with a chick in her bed at her house, just understand it's been at least 10 other dudes in that bed. And she will have no problem laying you down and freaking you in the same bed she done slept with 10 other dudes in. But then she's going to act like she's sanctimonious because you introduced her to your parents. Klay, you said this, 37 years old? I mean, this ain't no young cat. If you think that you are the first chick that met his parents, if you think you are the first female he's dated, if he is in town, his time is limited. He can't just come see his parents on no damn schedule. He got to see them when he can see them. Somebody might be with him when he do, somebody might not. Now, last thing, by the way, if he's bringing you to meet his parents, women don't like this, especially the crazy part is the single moms who raise boys who do this every damn day.
Oh, please.
Single moms they want to raise these little Lotharios and these little Casanovas. They have no problem with that. Oh, he's a little playboy. It's like, okay, well, this is the prophecy you sown. So meet the parents. They have no problem. Hey, meet mom and dad. Who do you think raised him? She'd be like, oh, okay, you're the one this year, ain't you? Okay, well, you're a little bit, you ain't as cute as the last one was. Okay, she was like half French. Oh, who are you, Meg The Stallion? Okay, the last one, her nickname was Fifi. So, okay, that's good. All right, Klay, we so glad you came, baby. Glad to introduce you. All right, that's what it is, right there. And you know what? They're happy. If you're his parents, you can't help but be happy. He ain't in jail. He's not on drugs. All the rest of that garbage happened with a lot of them other fellas in the league. He ain't got that going on. The chick ain't pregnant, and they know he's not going to get her pregnant. So she ain't going to be part of the family. She ain't going to be messing up the bag of the money. They know that they raised a disciplined man. He's not a boy. He's a disciplined man, and this is his companion for the next year. And when he gets ready to settle down, there will be a list of them that he can choose from. And they'll all be a hell of a lot better than this.
Yep. She should have accepted a side chick position. She at least got some money on the side that Rock Nation ain't giving her.
She could have at least been palling around with him. Like, okay, well, since you and I have been a little bit more high profile, and we can, I'll let you be seen and whatnot like that. We can do that, but you cannot be my only option. That's just not going to happen. And instead of her doing what she did with Jay-Z and Rock Nation and negotiate a deal, she instead decides she's going to go into business for herself. And tonight, who is she with? No damn body.
Yep.
Talk about great judgment. Great strategy, Megan. Let me tell y'all something here, ladies. Let me tell y'all something here. Y'all used to mama's boys and whatnot, and little fellas sneaking around. It's like, I'll be damned. A nigga ain't got to do that. He does not have... Y'all are not keeping up with this. Let me march you up here to the house. You can come meet mom. You can come meet dad. You introduce me to the parents. Why shouldn't I? Are you kidding me? Fellas come over for the Super Bowl. Okay, the parents will be there for that too. You supposed to hide everybody? The hell we are. Who do you think raised them? Hey, mom, this is my girlfriend for this year. As long as your parents know that you're not letting her take over your damn life and take over the money, the parents are cool with it. These will be the same hoes. You got us hoes? I sure did.
And deal with it, nigga.
These are the same hoes who will sit up here and have 4 and 5 kids by 4 and 5 different dudes. You want to talk about introduced to the parents? Y'all been introducing different dudes to your parents for years. That wasn't a problem for you. All of a sudden, the rabbit got the gun, and he's doing it better and smarter than you ever did. You're only angry because he wasn't as sloppy and stupid as you. He's going to get to leave the game clean. He's going to play it exactly like he's supposed to. Y'all have fun, y'all kick it and whatnot. And when he's done with the ride, he's done with the ride. He's going to use his season pass to Disney World. You're going to spend a bunch of money, which is fine. You can't take it with you. This is going to be a hell of a ride. You get on roller coasters specifically because it's thrills and chills. And when he's done with it, you get up and you leave the park. You jump back in your Range Rover, you jump back in your Bentley, you jump back in your Aston Martin, and you leave Disney World. That's what you do. And the chicks are upset because it's men with real resources thinking like that now. Yep, which means that, ladies, the new way going forward is just going to be a bunch of chicks out here with stories to tell about the rich men that they were laying up under. However, the simp era, the free simp era, there's going to be some free-floating simps. There always will be. Desperation abounds. However, you're finding out that the pickings are getting slim and will only get worse. You met my parents. Do you know how many chicks done met his parents? They were all beautiful and everything else. Most of them better than you. So you met my parents. Okay. Why shouldn't you meet mom? She's a nice person. I like mom. You can meet mom. Why would a man not want a chick to meet his parents? Why wouldn't you? They're nice people. She's like, it's something special. I think so. But if everybody does it as special, this is the same chick done slept with dozens of people. And then we'll tell you, well, it's not special. All right, Kari, camera's not on. Okay, Kari, last try. Camera's not on. If you don't have your camera on here, we're going to go ahead and remove you. Okay, Kari, camera's not on. Join us some other time. Let's go ahead and jump back over here and zoom again. Let me see if I can get Triple X up here on Zoom for me. Here, let me get Triple X up here on Zoom. Why are they mad? Because the rabbit got the gun now. They should be pleased about that. Triple X, I don't see the camera, man. What's going on with cats tonight? I don't know what they doing. All right, there you go. All right, Triple X, what's on your mind?
Salute, man. Salute to you. Salute to you. Hey.
Yeah, nigga, why you look like Tory Lanez? What? All right, let me stop right there. All right, what's on your mind, brother?
Yeah. Spectacular broadcast. I've been waiting on it all week. I knew this was going to be the definitive drop. Everybody have been weighing in on it. My question to you is this. Do you see Meg trajectory going pretty much the same way Nicki Minaj's has went? Nicki's about 10 years older than her. She came in the game, hot, very attractive girl. A lot of guys was interested, but ultimately she had to end up settling for a real gutter hood dude and squeezing the baby out at the end, right before she turned 40. What's your thoughts on that? Do you see that happening for Meg or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much going to be the same thing. She's going to be with an average dude.
Yeah.
The exceptional men, there's no value. They've all slept with her already. You gave your best away, but you want men who still have their best to give. This is not an equivalent exchange. So you're either going to have to find a sucker or you're going to have to settle for somebody who's actually at your level.
Right.
Because a woman's money and, quote, social achievement, that doesn't have value to a man. Nicki Minaj, no matter how many Grammys she get, that doesn't help her man. That does nothing for him. Being Mr. Minaj doesn't do anything for you except get you laughed at. So, and that's ultimately where you're going to end up being. You're going to have to be. In her case, simply because she'll have no choices after the very disastrous incident this week. What you showed men is that you're going to take private business public. There's no business manager who's going to tell you to ignore that. If you're a man, your publicist, your business manager, all of them are like, oh, no, don't do this. No. First time she gets upset, she's immediately going to try to attack your reputation. No, no, she's bad for business. Bad for business.
Right.
I mean, at the very least, you'd have to have her under an NDA. That'd be the only thing you could do now. You're going to have to put her under an NDA. And I think she's going to try to resist that because she ultimately wants the ability to attack you if she wants to. So, no, I just don't see any man doing that. If he does, he's an idiot. I just see it going the exact same way. It'll be somebody. He'll just be a regular guy. Nothing special.
No, I hear you. Great point about her ruining her future chances. Like, I look at that singer, Coco Jones. Now, granted, she don't have the whole history of Meg The Stallion, not over-sexualized to that point. But she was with Klay. Then she left. Now she engaged to Donovan Mitchell, but she didn't go public and put the nonsense out. So, she kept the options open at least.
Well, I mean, if you call them options, because there's the real thing about it is because they're coming down. This is mathematics coming down. This is what you have left. When you have a Megan The Stallion and you've gone off and you've had all these men, this is what you did when you had options and choices. You just went through the candy store and just said, man, let it ride. Okay. Yeah. So what ends up happening is that what you're doing is you're cashing out your future. All the future options you could have had, you're cashing them out now for something you don't even want. You're paying the same money, but for something you don't even want. So when you finally do decide, okay, now I'm serious, well, the men don't take you seriously now. Not the ones who have to actually have something to lose. So there's where the problem comes in. Who is the 7 or, God forbid, 8-figure man who is looking to bet all his chips on Megan Pete? Who is that?
Yeah, great point.
Who is he?
I don't think he exists.
After seeing something like this, I would just say it would be an act of supreme naivete at best and personal negligence at worst if he tied himself to it, because she's shown she's committed to destroying you. If she doesn't like what's happening, she will come out after you publicly. So as opposed to having class or anything else like that, she's showing you that's not who she is. all her defenders. That's why none of them are bringing this up. This is not ladylike behavior. This is not mature. Certainly not what they've insisted that the men need to do. Well, they say the men, you be assisted by this, that, and the other. Okay, then for the woman, shouldn't this be equally as villainous and deplorable? Okay, so there's a lot of folks hate men, is what it really is. And you have to be smart about that. So in Megan's case, she didn't have a lot to offer to begin with. I mean, let's just be honest. How hard is it to replace a Meg The Stallion? How hard is that? I mean, what does she really offer that's difficult to replace? How hard would it be to replace her with another one? How many other ones we out here swimming in now? A Doja Cat, a Lotto, a Ice Spice, a Coi Leray. How hard is it to a bunch of chicks out there, cute faces, better bodies, better faces than Meg The Stallion, younger, cuter, better bodies. How hard is it to replace her? And Klay got the run of the damn yard. How hard is she to replace? I'll let you have the last word.
He can get another her tomorrow.
He's got another 3 or 4 of her now.
Yeah. He already got him. Exactly.
Nigga, he can stand at Lenox Mall tonight and 4 or 5 of them will walk up to him. No effort on his part. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Klay Thompson can just go stand at the doorway of the Mall of America. He ain't got to do nothing. They'll come to him. Klay Thompson can just sit at the food court. Klay Thompson can sit in the food court of any mall in America sitting on his phone, and them broads will sit up and pull up at the chair next to him. He won't have to do anything. That's how good he got it. Meg The Stallion, ain't nobody offering her nothing. A bunch of birds online talking silly, but they're not going to pay her bills, and they're not going to buy her a Bentley. They're just going to run their mouths. You go, girl, manifest. All right. Love you, Moulin Rouge. All right, let's jump back over here on Zoom again. We got Jonathan here on Zoom. What's on your mind, sir?
What's up, Jason? How's it going, man? I'm doing all right, but I kind of joined the broadcast late. But at the end of the day, man, like, really, the game is the game. And I know you've talked about Kanye West a few times, but he said it best. There's 1,000 yous. There's only one of me. There's not a low supply of good-looking women, but there is a low supply of successful men. And
certainly of exceptionally successful men.
Yes, sir. And something that I've always said is you can be a hoe. You just can't be a public hoe, though.
Well, no, brother. No.
Hey, I'm willing to learn.
Yeah, you can be a hoe just so long as the world doesn't know, or just so long as that's not forward facing. Even still, that's going to be limited. That'll buy you a little time, but at the end of the day, what are we doing here? If your goal is to get a permanent commitment, you can't be a hoe at all, because what you've done before, you'll do again.
Yes, sir. No
female ends up in bed with 30 men by accident. And she has become a new person after doing that. I have to remind you all once again here, brother, can you name for me the last 30 movies you saw?
No.
Brother, can you name the last 15?
No.
Can you name the last 10?
No.
Okay. Can you name the last 30 restaurants you've been to?
No.
The last 10?
No.
And you spent money on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you understand when a chick been with dozens of men, she's been with so many she can't even remember them all? That's what that means. You can't remember the last 30 movies you've been to. You can't remember the last 30 restaurants. What makes you think a female can remember the last 30 men?
Wow, I never really thought of that.
Of course not, because nobody ever explains to y'all what the dynamics of being a hoe is. This is not some innocuous fun summer thing. Being a hoe is a change of life. And these are the factors you really have to consider. Dude, your chick been run through so much, she doesn't even remember them all. She can remember the last 5. She can't remember the last 25.
Yes, sir. And honestly, man, it's an honor to be on here, man. I first started listening to you when I was a sophomore in college back in 2017. So to be able to be on here, man, it's truly an honor.
Well, I'm glad there because there's a lot for y'all to learn about that. Chicks wanting to bury their sexual past, brother, that's the most important thing she got to offer you. Do not let them sit up here and bully you into thinking that you don't need to know where the hell she been. Yes, you do. You need to know all her damn exes. You need to know who they were, what they did, what their income was. Oh, some of them dead, under what circumstances. You need to know where she's been. Because too many of you are trying to make a bunch of commitments going forward without doing any due diligence. If you were going to buy a piece of real estate, brother, what's the first thing you got to do? Look up the history of the land. Who owns the mineral rights? Is it contaminated? Is there a lien on it? How many owners have there been? What's the property value been? Has it gone up and then gone down, or has it just been going up and appreciating in value? If you were buying a piece of real estate, you would want to know its entire history. If you were buying a car, you'd want to know its entire history. And yet the woman laying next to you and you're deliberately saying, I want negligence. I want ignorance. I don't want to know anything. I want to be willfully ignorant. Really? Now, who is it who taught you to respond to a woman with way less responsibility than you would respond to all these other, I would argue, less pertinent life choices? Who taught you that? Who bullied you into responding that way? Or did you do that? Because, well, I don't get a whole lot of female attention and the chicks are hard to get because they're all chasing the top 10%. And if I do catch one, I better just make the best of it, as opposed to, yeah, baby, before we do anything, let me find out some information. And we'll go from there. And whatever answers she gives you, you come back and ask these questions again in a couple of weeks. And then in a couple of months. And then start comparing if the answers ever changed. If it sounds like the first 48, it's because it does. You come back and circle back to these questions about these people, about these places, about these experiences. Find out those things and then see what happens. Start asking about things, about places. You need to find out where she been. You got a good looking broad and whatnot, and she talked about she used to date a ball player. You need to find out stuff. That's why I told y'all, Diddy and the Mandarin Oriental in New York. I'm like, I'll be damned, I'm in the Diddy suite. What? I'm not going to say any names, y'all, but I've been in they got specific names for them at the Mandarin Oriental, New York City, overlooking Columbus Circle by Central Park. I know it well. I'm like, oh, hell, me and Diddy I'm not going to say we were in the exact same room, but it was the exact same type of suite. I'm like, okay, I'll be damned. I don't know if I want to go back now. The Intercontinental, Los Angeles, I'm like, oh, hell, Diddy, you followed me around, clearly. Now, it sounds like a joke when I say that, brother, but if you get with a chick and she knows the routine at the Mandarin Oriental, she knows the routine at the Intercontinental, she knows the routine at those places, brother, you need to ask yourself a question. How does she know that? Does she know where the lobby is? The reason why those two places matter is because the lobbies are all up on upper floors, not the ground floor. So you have to get into an elevator to get to the lobby. If she knows this and never told you this, how does she know that? Because she didn't pay for it. Y'all fellas ain't asking questions, often because you don't actually want to know. And what I'm telling you is that, oh, trust me, this will come back to bite you. This will come back to bite you. I promise you, it will. Yo chick been to the Casa del Mar? How does she know that? Some of these boutique hotels they don't tell y'all nothing about. Like the one that Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini were at. The Ambient, by the way, exceptional place to be, which is why they were there. If your chick has been to the Ambient, there was a reason why that immediately became a scandal. And I believe that somebody's spouse paid a private investigator to follow her around. I think somebody paid for that. And when they went to go to the Ambient, brother, your chick don't show up at the Ambient on business. That hotel advertises itself as for lovers. It advertises for that. Liam Neeson advertises for the Mandarin Oriental. Okay, that's not what they advertise for ambient. If your chick has gone to a certain place, forget about going to Dubai. I'm talking about some domestic stuff. You fellas need to ask some damn questions. Yes, it matters where she been, who she been with, how many times, what they was doing. Was she 20 sleeping with a guy 50? You need to know that. Has she had a couple of freak offs? You need to know that. She outgrew that. Dude, if you had a sexual experience with another man, would a female tell you that she thinks you outgrew it?
No.
Okay. Would you be able to tell her that was just one time back in college?
No.
Oh, okay. Ain't that amazing? See, women don't give y'all that. You fellas can't wait to hand it over to them. But by the way, the women ain't gonna let you have, okay, well, I'm gonna spot you 2 dudes. Okay, he only slept with 2 dudes back in college, so I'm gonna spot you them 2. Don't do it no more now. You think that's the way it's going to go? She's going to give you the don't do it no more? Well, he's outgrew that? You think she's ever going to tell her girlfriends? Come on, man. So, fellas, you need to know your chick's sexual history and you cannot dismiss it or discount it. That is her value because what she has done once, she will do again. The only fellas who think this is not true are the ones that she doesn't want to do it for you. If Ciara does not do another freak off, it's not going to be because she, quote, loves Russell Wilson so much. It's because she would only do that kind of thing for a Future. And you ain't Future, so no, I would never do that again for you. Future becomes an option again. Oh, look here. She's throwing them other chicks around the room. So fellas tend to want to be willfully ignorant and willfully naive, and dudes need to stop that. Stop that. A chick being a hoe, that matters, man. And especially if she's going to be the mother of your children. If she's a hoe playing a role and you're willfully ignorant, because they can't be ignorant, they can't fake it that long, brother. If her hoe tendencies are starting to show themselves again, like Ciara did with Russell Wilson, how in the hell is he missing all this and we're seeing it, brother? How did he miss this and we all see this? Because he doesn't want to see it. Okay, this is what happens when you ignore the chick's past. It's never the past. It comes forward again. She's just hoping that you're willfully blind. I promise you it will cost you.
Absolutely.
I'll let you have the last word.
And is this why like they hate like the whole body count question?
Yes, they hate the body count question because that is basically the how much do you make question for men. So now, fellas used to not ask about the body count. Women have always been hitting us about how much money we make. They've always been telling, how much you make, what you do, what you make. Oh, they have no problem with evasive questions for you. The men just finally start getting honest about that and getting smart. How many fellas you been with? How many boyfriends have you had? And yeah, that is the how much money do you make? And women understand if you're asking that question, all of her value to you is about to be summed up in whatever the answer is. So yeah, she's real wary about answering that because she knows you're not asking that because you're bored. You're asking that because you're about to determine what her value is to you. So in today, they were hoping men would never ask that. The only ones you don't ask that to are the ones you ain't gonna keep. And if he is asking it, he's determining if he's gonna keep you. So yeah, they hate that because they know it. We're not asking for no reason. Your value to us will be determined by this. Furthermore, it should be. Furthermore, it should be. However, I advise all men to ask some hemispherical questions first. Don't start with the how many men have you been with. I don't even think you should ask specifically that many questions. I think you should ask them about life experiences, where they been, and then hit them with the who they went with. And you need to just do skip tracing and deal with this in a hit and miss mentality. Touch on something, get off of it, move to something else. Come back in a week, touch on another thing, get off of it, move on to something else. She's not going to remember all these things. You will. She won't remember it, but you will. If she tries to lie about it later, you're going to immediately catch it. So don't just try to get everything together in one sitting. No. Just take this one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Circle back around to this a little bit later. All right, touch this one again. Let me get some more information. Oh, who did you go with? Oh, this is a new place. Oh, did you go with Bob? Oh, because you said you were only with Bob from 2017 to 2020.
You think they'll be that forthcoming though?
Brother, that's why you have to take it incidentally. Don't try to do everything all at once. Just, that's what I'm saying. Go one episode at a time, one incident. Oh, they went on this trip over here. Get all the information you can about that one trip by itself, and then get off of it. That's what I mean by get off of it.
Yes, sir.
Don't just hammer on it. Okay, you got that. She's already said it. You got to treat it like the first 48. She already gave you her story. That's why I said, who'd you go with? How long were you there? What did you all do? How much did it cost? What did you see? Now, get off of it. We can come back to this in a week or a month. We ask about other experiences. Oh, you went with Bob to oh, did you go with him to this place too? Oh, this is another person. Oh, okay. Then we can get the years and dates and stuff like that. You start doing that about through 5 or 6 places. What I'm telling you is that even if she wanted to lie, we've made it too far for her to do that. She's not going to be able to keep all this straight. If she tries to lie about it, she won't be able to keep all this straight. So this is you doing your due diligence, and don't do a I got you. You want them, when they start lying, let them keep going. Because once you let her know that you caught her lying, now she knows you're listening. And once she realizes you're listening, now she's going to try to clam up on you. And that's not what you want. You want to make it very clear that they're so far down the road now, lying won't help you anymore. So you might as well go ahead and just drop all the dirt, since I just showed you about this place here and this one and this one and this one, and these are your dates. And it's very obvious that you ain't no virgin, and you ain't just been with 3 guys. So you might as well go ahead and drop all of it. Might as well go ahead and drop it all on account of the fact that you see I already got it. So either you're going to deal with me straight or you're going to make a fool of yourself, but you might as well go ahead and drop it. And fellas, that's how you do that. Don't hit them with the how many you've been with. Not at the beginning. That comes later. And I still wouldn't say this, how many you've been with. It would just be how many have you had. You might as well just drop the whole list, but only after you've gotten enough information to assemble something of a timeline from the time that she graduated high school to the time she met you. You should have a pretty good timeline established there. And once you do, they're always going to try to claim it was only 4 or 5 guys. Every female tries this. Your job is not to be that simple. When you start putting this thing together, there's going to be parties, frat parties, colleges, spring break. Have you ever been accused of cheating on somebody? So on and so forth. Did you ever have a fight with these other females over here? What? That's a main one. Hey, fellas, for you young fellas who are in college and whatnot, y'all, especially when you were in college, them chicks was fighting hoes all over the place. They were always fighting over a dude. So, hey, fellas, find it. That right there is one they won't see coming. Ask them if they ever got in a fight with these other chicks. Well, when you were younger, about who was you scrapping with? And get her to tell you the whole story. The whole story will involve a guy. Well, yeah, one of y'all was cheating with him. Or he was just one that you all were sleeping with. And y'all got tangled up with each other. And then y'all got tangled up in the front of the school. So questions like that, fellas, that just gives you, some tertiary evidence. You start marking those down and keeping track of it. And then next thing you know, you have an image you can start putting together, a big general image. But it's going to be like, yeah, this is a little too much information to have just been 3 or 4 guys. You've been too many places, too many incidents, and this wasn't just 3 or 4 guys. So you might as well go ahead and drop the whole list, since you know that I'm not that naive. But you can't just say you're not naive. Once you start putting the profile together, you got it. But that is the most powerful and important thing you will have, because you are trusting your future and your commitment to her. Yeah, the FBI does a damn background check before you can get hired. The military does security clearance before you can get hired. How is it the heifer sitting next to you doesn't have to have one? That's not going to help. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me go ahead and see if we can jump back over here on Zoom. Yeah, fellas, do your due diligence. Sexual history is not unimportant. That is crucial and critical. You got to know that. That's why she doesn't want you to have it, because she knows when you see what she done did, if you're doing a whole lot more for her than that fella did, but she's giving you less. So you was doing freak offs with Diddy, but you telling me you don't do threesomes no more. So you were with Diddy, bouncing around the room doing threesomes, but I'm buying you a house when you're telling me you don't do that for me. Okay. Fellas, you don't want to hear that kind of stuff, because now you have to admit just how low she regards you. All right. Let me go ahead and get OGK Network up here on Zoom for me here. OGK, what's on your mind?
Yeah. A lot, it's a good program you have going on, broadcast you have going on, Jason. I like to bring up something as a comparison on a situation. If I'm not mistaken, I think Lori Harvey broke up with Idris. Was it H0es? I forgot.
Damson, Idris. They kind of been off again, on again here and whatnot. But Damson is doing the exact arc I predicted. As he's got more successful, he takes her less seriously. So eventually, he's gonna move on to somebody with some sense.
Yeah, but also I like to go ahead and say something that's very important. Lori Harvey, I think even when they broke up this time, she was very vague on the ins and outs of the situation with the relationship. I think she said something that he was a little boring or whatever. And that was it. You didn't get a telling of family dynamics, or is he cheating, or he has moody swings, or he has a bipolar. You didn't get all these things going on within the relationship. She kept it as vague as possible.
But brother, no. She didn't keep it vague. You didn't get anything.
Yeah,
you cannot show a direct statement from Lori Harvey about Michael B. Jordan, nor can you show a direct statement about Michael B. Jordan from Lori Harvey. You haven't seen any direct statement from either one of them. What does that tell you? NDA. Which is the reason you never heard a statement from Lori Harvey about P. Diddy. Which we know you can't walk in a room with Sean Combs without signing an NDA first. I'm not making that up. Let me say that to you one more time. You cannot walk into a room with that man without signing one. He's not going to be around you at all with the ability for you to speak about anything. Now, when they do interviews on the radio, that's a different matter, obviously. But as far as you and him to get to know, you can't do that. Oh, yeah, Jeezy is the same way. What? Let me just remind you all here again, when Jeannie Mai divorced Jeezy and she sent the movers to their house and Jeezy wasn't there. What Jeezy's manager was there? The video was online. It was a white woman. Jeezy's manager there. She told the movers that they could not come into the house unless they signed an NDA. Jeannie Mai put up the video. She was angry and this, that, and the other. Don't believe me, folks. I've already played it here on the channel, but y'all can go look it up for yourselves. Oh, no, brother, this is standard operating procedure because the women have just made things so unbearable. This is how bad the females have made things that, everything about them is okay. Well, if the men can't be destroyed, let me destroy his reputation or try to smear him in some way. So now we just entered this really wacky place. But no, brother, no. Lori Harvey is under NDAs to all these folk. Although she also wants you to sign an NDA too, because ultimately, she's going to be looking for a sucker to marry her long term, and she doesn't want anybody to actually be able to say anything. So Future, P. Diddy, all the nastiest men in the entertainment industry who have all slummed her, she doesn't want anybody saying anything. So everybody's under an NDA. So that's why you have heard no details from any of them. And let me go a little bit further. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Leo DiCaprio. Yeah, there's a reason you ain't heard nothing from the chicks they did it either.
Okay. Can I say something with that? Nia Long was talking all this mess about younger guys and how they're better. But I'm like, baby, you going to have younger men come into bed, but they can't come in your bed unless they sign an NDA. How better are they?
Okay, who was the young man of any value or significance who's offering Nia Long anything? So she can talk about that as a hyperbolic academic abstract, but as a literal thing, who is the 25-year-old worth $10 or $20 million who is saying, no, y'all 25-year-olds get out my way. I want 55-year-old Nia Long. Who is he? Klay Thompson. He's trying to get to Nia? So as an abstract and a viral line to say on the internet, that's cute. As a real, literal thing, it's not happening.
I just me personally, Jason. I mean, if I don't want anyone in my bed that I have to sign an NDA for you to get in the first place. That's just, to me, just makes absolutely no dang sense.
Okay, well, let me ask a question to that. You say, I would never want anybody in my bed I gotta sign an NDA with. Understood. Do you have the net worth and value that would require any type of business contract?
No. Well, yeah. Like I said before, they are in Hollywood.
Michael B. Jordan's name, his name is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. We just found it out with Sinners. But we're after Creed, we're after all that. This is a project that he put together on his own. You know, I'm not saying by himself. We got that. But, brother, his name alone. So that's what we're protecting. If this chick is allowed to go off and just start making up lies and disparaging you because she's upset because, yeah, Lori, you got slummed through by too many dudes. I'm on to the next. And she's decided, well, if you just gonna drop me like the others, I'm showing my sexual trauma and I will just lie on you. Now I got you on paper, chick. So, yeah, you just go ahead and be salty and move on about your business to the extent you have any. When you get to that level, brother, you have to protect your name because as a man who has met these people, I've met athletes, I've met actors, I've met actresses, I've met rappers, I've met entertainment folk. I'm just letting y'all know the majority, not the minority, the majority of them are emotionally unbalanced. I will just put it kindly. I will say emotionally imbalanced. I'll just put it like that. You don't want to be in a situation where she falls in love with you and you decide you don't want her anymore. Keying your car, busting your windows. Remember, I don't know who you thought Ellen Nordegren was before Tiger Woods married her, but we got her on video and photograph busting out the damn window, trying to bust him in the windshield with a golf club. We're not talking about your local hood rat down in Section 8. We're talking about Miss Scandinavia. She said, here, hold this 9-9, nigga. Okay. And she's not the only one. Cardi B, let me jump this damn table and go upside your head. Evelyn Lozado, hold this bottle, ho. I mean, do you want me to just keep going down the list? Rihanna, B better have my money. Beyonce and Solange, hey, Jay-Z, let me whoop your ass in this elevator right quick. Should I keep going? With all these public incidents, yeah, Left Eye, I can keep going here, dude, down the damn list. Vivica Fox, if you think she won't square off on you, come on, man. Nicki Minaj threatening people every other day. Meg The Stallion. So I'm just saying, y'all, the fantasy you have in your heads about how level and stable they are, and I'm just letting you know, that's not reality. It really isn't. This stuff is not a game. It's not a joke. No, this is for real. They had cameras rolling in the elevator, and you saw what really goes down.
Jason, you called it with that Nicki Minaj and that, what's his boyfriend's name, Petty or whatever? You called it because I think he's living in Queens now.
Well, like I say, DJ Vlad put out some information. We will see if it pans out. I think it's worth observing further. I'd like to see how that goes. They might have a temporary falling out or something like that, but it certainly is very ominous because he has to be tracked where his place of residence is. So obviously he's not putting it where she is anymore. I just thought, if that's true, brother, that's a hell of a week. It's been a hell of a couple of months. I mean, they all fell off in the same damn season. I mean, Cardi B, Meg The Stallion, Nicki Minaj, this whole rap is going down the damn tubes. Whole rap is going down the damn tubes right now, man. It's a rough time to be one of them. It is a rough time to be one of them is what it looks like. But, you know, at the end of the day, I want men to be cognizant of this. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that everything is going to be, you know, peaches and roses. I'm not going to say that. I am going to say that do understand that just because a chick is signed to Rock Nation, that doesn't mean she ain't going to crash out. Do not believe that. And when you get to a certain level, you're going to have to safeguard yourself more. You are talking about trust. Brother, that's a wonderful ideal to have. When you're a man who doesn't have very much, a female can't help but trust you. There's nothing else for her to get except you. When you're a man who's got everything she ever dreamed of, don't be surprised if losing that sends her screaming over the edge. Because Klay Thompson offered her the promise of redeeming her image. That's what he represented. I can redeem your image because it's like a person who got good credit. Her credit's messed up. His credit is stellar. And he's like, okay, I'll make you I'll make you a authorized user on my account. Then he got one day and said, you know what? I've changed my mind. Let me cut this card up. Yeah, I don't think you should be an authorized user. If you need anything, call me. But no, you're not going to be an authorized user anymore. Now she's like, what? I've been making future plans based on this. And now she just goes screaming over the edge.
Well, I think what we got going on is literally a whole apocalypse going on right now.
Yes, it's Homageddon. You know, and they are in turmoil about it. They absolutely are. All the females out there who thought that they were going to reconfigure male society, that all of us were just going to wait our turn for the hoes to get finished getting run through, and then we're going to go buy them all $1 million houses because we finally get our turn. It's like, yeah, they're now watching as a new paradigm is taking over. And that's frightening for them. Thank you very much for giving us a call now. We appreciate that. Let me go ahead and see if we can get Brandon up here on Zoom for me here right quick. Let me see if we can get Brandon up here on Zoom for me. All right, Brandon, what's on your mind?
What's going on, JB, man? I had to go ahead and just call on in, man, and just go ahead and just add for a question for you, man. I feel what you're saying tonight, man, is definitely deep as always, man. Great game, man. But I just want to know, man, do you think you give yourself enough credit for all the stuff for what's going on right now, man? Because the fact that men across the world have really just gotten on Russell Wilson of labeling him the poster child for what not to do or what not to do with these females, man. And it just, to me, this was something that was never seen before you got on out here, before you started talking about it. And it just seems to me, man, that, you know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit for a lot of the stuff, a lot of the game that you put a lot of brothers on, man, and how it has literally changed the world. It is no doubt about it, man. It has literally changed the world. Nobody was talking like this stuff before you came. Nobody was holding up in regard the type of masculinity and the type of regards of what manhood should be and how we're supposed to carry ourselves and value the things that we've built and not just hand it on off to a bunch of damn hoes. Because it used to be back in the damn day, you know, you got on. I would see dudes, you know what I'm saying, got their little money on up, and then they would just, you know what I mean, they'll just go ahead and wife on up whatever little broad dodo shit that it was, that as long as she was fine, that was all that mattered. You know,
yeah, I mean, there were not clear, there
yeah.
weren't concrete, clear rules of the road. Certainly was not a code of conduct to it. Look, my perspective on this is real easy. You know me, I have no ego to inflate or offend in that regard. I'm more concerned with the message getting out than who carries it and whatnot. So, I mean, as long as the message gets out there, I'm fine if I never get credit for it. The only reason why we're bringing these things up is for you all, to be totally honest, because I know my audience doesn't necessarily listen to a bunch of these other things out there. And there are folks who are far more well-known and whatnot, whether you like it or not. I mean, they're more well-known. But I do want you to understand, I'm just doing this to confirm for you that you're not just screaming in the wilderness. You're not by yourselves. You're not just some isolated little corner of the internet off in segregation at the penitentiary somewhere. That's not what's going on. I know a lot of the time it feels that way, but I'm telling you, I've been to these places, I've met these folk, I've seen these things, so I know it gets further than that. But a lot of them, it's like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to say it like that. Because I want you to remember something. Now, shout out to my man Mike Daniels. Shout out to my man Mike Daniels. I've always given props to him because Mike came out and said it when nobody else was saying it. Now, that matters because it's one thing for me to say it. I'm not in the NFL. I just know cats who are in the NFL. For Mike to say that was a major bellwether moment. Super major bellwether moment. And what I'm saying is that it was things like that. Okay, you've broken containment. You can't just claim that this is just some yahoos on the internet anymore. And he confirmed, hell yeah, we were all saying that. Once that, so brother, a wall doesn't just come out one day. You know, it starts cracking, it starts making leaks. Next thing you know, it bursts open in one area, cracks open in another. And then you wake up one day and there's Cam Newton saying it. And then next thing you know, it's like, yeah, you were all thinking it. Jason was the only one with the guts to say it at first. If he don't back off of it, it becomes more comfortable for others to mimic it when they see, okay, he said it and didn't get struck by lightning. Okay, he's saying it a year later and still ain't getting struck by lightning. Okay, you're not going to get vaporized if you say it. So it can take time for that to happen, but eventually it shows itself. The other thing is that it takes time for these things it takes time for the public to become comfortable accepting an uncomfortable reality. It takes time to do that. They didn't want to accept that there are consequences for Ciara's actions. It's not me being sorry. It's not me being woman hating. It's about, hey, there's consequences for choosing a guy like Future. And you're not going to convince the rest of us that we need to replicate Russell Wilson and take Future's leftovers. You're not going to convince us of that. A lot of folk did not want to hear that because that's kind of heavy to say, man. That's heavy to tell somebody, yeah, you screwed up and it's not going to get better. Okay, but it is what it is. So in reality, I appreciate it. That's great. That's wonderful. I'm more concerned about you all. I do this for the purposes, in reality, of folk being aware that, I've always said the same thing. I'm just the messenger. You all are the message I came to bring. So when I say these things, I relate to you that, hey, look at these other outlets saying the exact same thing. You know where they got it from, so you know they're listening. The message is out there. It's gone mainstream. It's being adopted by the society at large to let you know you're not by yourselves anymore. And to me, that's the most important thing, is that now you all can go out and say, hey, Jason's documented it. This ain't just us. Everybody is thinking the same thing. Now they're saying the same thing. We were just the first to say it. So if you want to take a little pride in that, hey, go ahead and do that. But the real thing is knowing that you're being listened to. You're not crazy. You're not stupid. And oh yeah, you're not the minority anymore. Not anymore, you're not.
Oh yeah, man, it's most definitely game changer, man. I just always want to just make sure always, brother, I have so much respect for you. I just want you to have your props, man, your damn day, because it's like, though, man, it was just a big message that you just laid on out, and it was just the damn truth. Even as a brother as me, trying to go ahead and touch the millions, though, man, who wakes up every damn day thinking about how I'm going to try to do it and put my best efforts out here in the game, man. And I will not, knowing that I will not sit up here and just take no damn chick with no damn super messed up old whorish background. I'm not going to be nobody's Captain Save 'em. I will not do that. As a brother coming on up, trying to make it, though, so it's already rules set in place already for even not just the dudes who are already there, but for the dudes who are coming there. no, this will not be. And to just make it so much plain and clear that messing with a damn chick that has such a damn messed up background and just a slutted out kind of degenerate behavior of a background, that we will not sit up here and just take that and just take whatever flops and slops off the damn table like a damn dog waiting for scraps, upgrading a damn chick who don't deserve it. This is just it's just simply just monumental, because they were not doing this stuff back in the damn day. They were not talking like this. They were just sitting up in here, just all the testament was, he'll just be happy just to go ahead and have him just a solid 7, no shoe that's just set, that'll just be sexually active with him, and that's it. And you don't have to respect them. You'll get all the money and all the benefits, and it's just like you came in as a tidal wave and just said, like, no. Absolutely not. None of this stuff is going to go ahead and happen. Matter of fact, you're a loser if you sit up here and go ahead and go out there dealing with a chick, trying to wife up a damn chick and bringing her back with all these sexual deviations and all these sexual nonsense in her past that she has been out here accumulating over the years. You're the sucker. You're the sucker. You're the lame. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's like, no, damn, like you might see a damn dude out there at Comic-Con in a damn Darth Vader costume, but his ass like, damn, look at that damn simp over there who's sitting up there wifing up a damn hoe.
Yeah, this idea that you were going to brainwash us and condition us to be a generation of high value simps. And that all the cast off hoes would just circle back to us later when they got done, quote, having their fun. And we would all just be sitting there in line waiting to get our ticket to make sure they're good. It's like, yeah, we're going to define this on our terms. This doesn't motivate me. This doesn't give me drive. I don't find anything enjoyable about having somebody's damn leftovers. And you shouldn't be trying to force me into doing that. And furthermore, try to force the rest of us into accepting it. Why don't we tell you what your value is? You've been with Future. You've been with Diddy. You've been with Trey Songz. You've been with Tory Lanez. Okay, here is your side chick application. You fill it out. It's due on the 9th. So I suggest you hurry up and hand it on in when you get to it. And if you don't, that's okay too. But what we will not be doing is giving you a lifetime contract, because in our male culture today, you ain't worth it and you never will be. And that's not me insulting you or condemning you. That's me telling you that, baby, you got Rolls Royce eyes and Toyota Tercel pockets. That's what you have. That is you. Stop trying to bully me into overvaluing you. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, Brendan. Let us be honest with you hoes. That's not an insult. I'm not calling out your name. I'm saying let's just be straight about it. Why don't we make a straight deal? Stop trying to get us to overvalue you. Stop trying to get us to ignore all these warts. Stop trying to tell us that we deserve less than the scum you were with before. Diddy can have a freak off, but you're telling Klay Thompson he can't have one. But he needs to buy you a house and a boat and a Bentley and a ring and commit for the rest of his life. Okay, but he can't have a freak off. I'm like, that's a damn insult. It's just time that the men got together and just said, you know what? Yeah, we're comparing notes. Yeah, we're not going to get insulted anymore. If Tory Lanez is worth a freak off with you and your best friend, then damn it, how the hell is it I'm paying 5 times as much and I'm not worth 5 times the freak off? Let's deal with you where you are. And just because you found some idiot to overpay, you are not going to convince the rest of us to become a culture of overpayment. Yes, there are simps and there are a bunch of dudes out there that do that, but let's just keep it real. The pension pimps ain't Klay Thompson. It ain't happening like that. I'm not talking about, the daily lotto ticket. Oh, here's your 2,500. Ooh, I got 10,000. It's like, okay. Klay Thompson, that's the $1 billion jackpot one. It's like, you ain't going to get that one. And this is all the more reason for you as men in here today to get your value up, your earnability up, everything up as high as you can, and you hold it and guard it jealously. You don't distribute it to anybody. You always keep the value, hold it to the best. You don't sign over or away anything. You give them access, but you do not give them possession. You be the guy who can afford the Bentley. Be the guy who can afford the house. Be the guy who can afford the boat. She gets a ticket to ride the Bentley, a ticket to ride the boat, but she does not get ownership. And that's what they're terrified of men acquiring that mindset. You go down to Miami, you see that mindset every damn day. That's why the women are so angry about Miami, because it's a bunch of men of high net worth, value, status, prestige. They can get tickets to ride on the boat, but them fellas know better than that. Yeah, you ain't gonna own nothing. So the search is on desperately to find the males who ain't up to speed yet and are so desperate that he's not used to getting anything. So when they do wink at him, okay, yeah, whatever you want there, that's all right, Megan. I'm not worried about Trey Songz and, French Montana and all the others. I'm not worried about that, baby. I'll commit. Sherry Shepard told me to. Stephen A. Smith told me to. Hookface told me to. Square Jaw told me to. They're terrified to death that this is becoming male culture. That the men have decided that they are going to become high value men, extremely resourceful, producers who will hold on to their extreme value, and that they will leverage that value for their benefit, not for somebody else's, as it should be. And what they're showing you is that they resent it. That the men are thinking like this. Yeah, because the women ain't buying no Bentleys. They damn sure ain't buying no boats. As I said, the men are the ones who do the really fly stuff. The real fly stuff, only the men do that. The women will buy a handbag. They're not buying no boats. They're not buying any boats. In the chat room, Kia, what the hell was there to love? He didn't love her. What the hell was there to love? What did she show the world was worth loving? She's built a career on what? Where was the love of her that she built her career on? Love what? What the hell love got to do with it? What was there of her to love? She didn't require that of anybody else. And she hasn't demonstrated or shown that there's anything worth loving. There's a whole lot worth lusting. All right, let me get my ticket to ride. Let me ride this lust train right quick. That's right. All aboard the hoe train. Ah, sir, you're a new passenger today. I got my ticket to ride. Okay. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And they don't want men to acquire this type of objectivity that's not clouded by lust. And no, he actually made a very competent, decisive, objective, logical, strategic decision. She is for recreational use. And females are terrified of men who are actually willing to limit their value to what they qualify for. You done slept with that many dudes? Like, yeah, you're just recreation. I want different than that. You're not worth that. Here is your side chick application. We will notify you when or if it's been approved. But do not think that sexual desperation runs the yard. They thought they're living in an era where they expect sex to mesmerize men. The most powerful thing the men can do is accumulate value and then demonstrate that sex does not mesmerize them. We didn't do this to Meg The Stallion. She did it to her damn self. We're just reporting the news. We're just reporting the news. All right, folks. Well, I know you had a whole week of people sitting up here giving you information about it, giving you their take on it. Most of it dead wrong, very shallow insight, nothing comprehensive. Nobody really explaining exactly what in the world was going on. A bunch of extraneous information being piled on top of it, clouding up the subject. You have received the definitive analysis of exactly what really happened and why Meg The Stallion got taught by Klay Thompson why hoes cannot be housewives. And we are all better off for it. So I would like to say that I would like to cast the first ballot to induct Klay Thompson into the Hall of Game. What? Damn! The NBA can take you for the Hall of Fame, Klay. I would like to make you a first ballot for the Hall of Game. Thank you for putting these hoes back where they belong. We appreciate that. May the rest of these young jacks out here follow your example. No more PJ Washingtons. Let's not do that. Let's get some fellas out here who ain't getting got over on. Let's normalize that. Let's normalize not getting got. How about that, dummies? Let's normalize not getting got. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out here to Jason C7993. Thank you very much for your support tonight here, brother. We appreciate that here. My man, Sir Shy, is in the house. We appreciate that. Oh, Ramel Murdoch, Zavon, Project Leroy, as always. We appreciate that as well. G-Mac II. Franklin, Alpha Male, PMP, Arthur, everybody else here, thank you so much for your support here tonight. We appreciate that. J-Bo Diesel, Pharaoh's Kingdom. If you are new here to the business, welcome to the Definitive School of Power Dynamics. Click that subscribe button and that notification button. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our Patreon, the link is in the description. We do it every weekend, 12 noon Central Time. Be there or be nowhere. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program, live or recorded. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business